All right. We are, again, now live on a new live stream as we are covering a tornado outbreak across the southeast. For those that might just be tuning in and don't know what's happening, currently, we do have, again, an outbreak of severe weather happening across the southeast. Things have been quieting down a little bit here over the last couple of hours, but we still have a few more chances of severe weather between now and about 4 a.m. The National Weather, the Storm Prediction Center has kept a tornado watch in place until 4 a.m. Eastern time for many areas in Georgia and Alabama. We actively have one tornado warning in place, but we just had a large tornado moments ago, which is why we are going to be continuing our live coverage past 12 hours today, with still an area of rotation that is more down to the south now of the tornado warning polygon, just east of Clanton. It is going to be moving in the direction of Rockford, eventually going towards Goodwater, Kellyton, and west of Alexander City. There is still a chance that we get a tornado with this as it continues to move north or east-northeast. PA of Storm Trackers, who's on the bottom right of your screen, they are currently filling up on gas, but once they're done that, they'll probably be getting right back on top of the storm as it continues to move east-northeast. It has a big hook echo still and quite a bit of an inflow, and so we are still anticipating that this could be producing a tornado as it continues to move in the direction of Goodwater. We also have a storm west of Montgomery that we are still watching very closely. There is a broad area of circulation just off to the west there of Montgomery that is going to be moving towards Prattville and Deatsville, and this could also produce a tornado as it moves in that direction. It's going to have to overcome this little storm merger though, so once this happens and if this storm can stay discreet, I do think there's going to be a potential that we get a tornado out of that storm as it moves towards the I-65 corridor. And back over in Monroeville, which is back over in southwestern Alabama, we still have a severe storm here near Beatrice and Monroeville. It is tracking to the northeast towards Pineapple, and this will be capable of producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and there's broad rotation on that storm. We also have a little storm now near Mobile, Alabama. It is a strong storm that is moving northeast right along Interstate 10, heading towards Mobile, Alabama. It is going to be capable here of producing some gusty winds, and there is even maybe a chance that this tries to produce a tornado after it crosses over the Mobile Bay. So we'll eventually move towards the Florida Panhandle here in a little bit. So make sure that you are staying weather aware, even if you're along the Gulf Coast of the United States. Also, we have new reports coming in. Just a couple of new reports to relay to you guys. Broadcast media is reporting extensive damage on US 82 near Maplesville, likely from a recent tornado. And then scanners in Chilton County EMA are reporting entrapment along 303 in Maplesville, Alabama. So there are people apparently trapped in Maplesville, Alabama from the tornado that just happened, which, if we're being specific here, this probably happened on the south side of Maplesville, right near Highway 82. There was a barbecue place on US Highway 82 that was also, I believe, hit by this tornado. But yeah, we do have reports here of extensive damage reported on US 82 near Maplesville from a tornado that just crossed over that area not too long ago. And oh goodness, we have a new tornado dropping. All right, so we have a new tornado that's about to drop right here near Quincy.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground.
We have a new tornado that is dropping near Quincy. As we've been talking about for a while, this storm is now recycling. We have a new tornado that is dropping right now east of Clanton. You need to be seeking shelter. If you're in this tornado warning, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building if you are in this tornado warning. We have a tight couplet that's approaching Hillwood, Gold Branch, Unity, and also the Bentleyville area going towards Hanover. It's a very dangerous storm. They just issued a new tornado warning, which is a confirmed tornado warning, as this is radar confirmed. Latest radar scan showing that that tornado right now is just approaching Hillwood, southeast of Quincy. Waiting for the correlation coefficient update here. And we do have a tornado. There is a debris signature. This radar is a little bit slow, but we do have a debris signature that has just popped up near Hillwood in Alabama. So you need to, again, seek shelter immediately, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible. If you have a storm shelter, you should be getting there. If you're in Goodwater or Kellyton, if you have a basement, that's one of the other best places to go. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get into a sturdy structure. You're in a mobile home. You need a sturdy structure or get into a ditch as this continues to move east-northeast. But again, that tornado has just dropped. It's just south of Quincy, Alabama, and it's moving towards Hillwood and Moria. Going towards Gold Branch and Unity and Stewartville over the next several minutes. Let's see if we have any other reports coming in right now. But once again, we have a tornado in progress. If you're just tuning in, this is going to be a rain-wrapped tornado that is located east of Clanton, Alabama. The next big town in the track of this is going to be Goodwater and your Alexander City. We are still monitoring a storm west of Montgomery that has some rotation, but there's a lot of convection out in front of this storm, so that's going to kind of limit, I think, its tornado risk, at least in the short term. But it will be still something to watch for as it moves east-northeast. Also, a new report coming in. The National Weather Service Birmingham radar was so close to the tornado, it recorded 103 mile per hour winds aloft from that tornado passing. So not too long ago, if you guys were watching, we had a tornado near the Birmingham radar site. And that apparently produced 103 mile per hour winds aloft. And unfortunately, this tornado is continuing to get stronger southeast of Quincy near Hillwood. We once again have a larger tornado that is developing here, at least a strong tornado, potentially a larger sided tornado moving towards Hillwood and Moria, going towards Bentleyville. The velocities are still very strong on this. The debris signature is indicating that we have debris being lofted up into the atmosphere southeast of Quincy, going towards Gold Branch, Unity, Hanover, Mount Olive here in Alabama. So once again, you need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom if you are in this tornado warning. You saved my life from the Oklahoma outbreak November 3rd. We got hit by an EF3 tornado. We had to run to the bathroom. I appreciate that, Dustin, and I'm glad it could help. I remember that day. Wasn't that the nighttime threat? Wasn't that when we had tornadoes at like 3 in the morning or something like that? Yes, this is a new stream. We're doing a new stream because we were going to run into 12 hours. So we had to do a new stream. If you're just tuning in, again, tornado in progress near Hillwood, going towards Bentleyville, Hanover, and Stewartville. Tracking eventually towards Mount Olive as well, just west of Goodwater. This is a rain-wrapped tornado. It's a relatively rural area here of Alabama, but nonetheless, it is a tornado, and there have been a lot of people that have been impacted by tornadoes in very rural areas here today. We just had it back over west of Clanton, where there's people apparently trapped inside a building south of Maplesville, near Highway 82. And that just happened within the last hour. Latest radar scan, tornado is now approaching Hillwood. The tornado is now approaching Hillwood, Alabama. There's a bunch of cemeteries in this area. The Dixon Park is currently being hit by this tornado near Flag Mountain and Pinhoti Trail. But from what I'm seeing, there are not very many homes here. There are a few. There's some farmland. Really, the next main location would be Stewartville and Goodwater here in Alabama. Also, a new update. The Bakersfield tornado preliminary report is that it was an EF3 tornado. The Bakersfield tornado is preliminary EF3. Maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. Do have a new radar scan that's about to come in. Tornado again is on the north side of Moria, north of Hillwood, northwest of Bentleyville. It's going to be going towards Hanover, Highway 231, and Stewartville over the next several minutes. And this is the latest CC radar update. So again, we still got a tornado in progress on the north side of Hillwood, north of Moria. It's tracking right along this, or will be eventually tracking right along this little road here called County Road 29. Over the next few minutes, it's really not in that populated of an area. There's not really not many homes or anything here anyway, but again, more concerningly, it's going towards more populated towns like Stewartville, Mount Olive, and Goodwater here in central eastern Alabama. So again, continue to stay vigilant and get to your safe place if you're in the tornado warning. I still do think this Montgomery storm has potential to produce a tornado at some point here soon. As of now, not tornado warned, but just west of Montgomery near Whitehall and Prattville, this storm is still rotating, going towards Interstate 65. It's just going to be a matter of time, I think, because it's a messy storm right now, but I think it's going to organize within the next 30 minutes. It might become a bit more of a tornadic threat as that eventually goes towards Deatsville. Now, for those that are back over in Georgia, we have not had much yet, but we are starting to see some storm activity reaching the west side of the state. There is a little storm west of Rome that is producing a little bit of rotation right now, but not something that I would think that would be tornado warned anytime soon. And then back over in the eastern section here of Alabama, moving towards the west side of Georgia, we do have a line of thunderstorms that's going to be pushing into northwestern Georgia here relatively soon. Back over near Edwardsville, we do have actually a little bit of rotation. So a little bit of rotation near Edwardsville. It's going to be going towards Tallapoosa and Bremen, going towards Route 27. So if you are in those areas, just stay weather aware. There is a little bit of rotation there, and a tornado is definitely still a possibility with that storm. Latest debris signature is still showing a tornado in progress, still about the same intensity as before, about to cross over the county road, and then it's eventually going to go towards Hanover and Route 231. There is now a new report in Pletcher, Alabama, in Chilton County. There are now reports of at least 2 homes and 1 manufactured home that has received damage near CR15 and CR16. Again, in Chilton County, at least 2 homes and 1 manufactured home receiving damage. And there's also reports from the Plantersville Emergency Management that there's extensive damage in Plantersville. Definitely an interesting storm down near Mobile. I don't think this will be tornadic anytime soon, but as it moves towards Florida, it might become a little bit more tornadic after it moves over the Mobile Bay. Will I be covering Georgia tonight? We'll be live as long as needed. I don't know what that means, honestly, but we'll be live. Be live as long as we need to. So, no time limit really on this stream. The last stream we had to end because it was at 12 hours, so. And otherwise, my live stream wouldn't save fully. I know a lot of people like going back and watching these streams, so. Okay, that's old. No problem, Sabrina. Appreciate the super chat. I'm glad I'm helping you out. Latest radar scan. Tornado is now over the north side of Moria. Still about 5 minutes away from 231. And then about 10 to 12 minutes away from Goodwater. And obviously, you should not be waiting 10 to 12 minutes to get to your safe place if you're in Goodwater, Alabama. But if you are in Goodwater, just get to the safe place. Get to your safe place as soon as possible. Quick update on Tennessee. I know we have some viewers from Tennessee right now. The tornado watch has been mostly canceled across the state, but we still have a line of thunderstorms, which, believe it or not, this actually could be something here. Back over near Watertown, there is actually a little bit of rotation, believe it or not. Mostly just wind, but we might see a little bit of rotation come out of that as that goes towards Watertown, Tennessee. Though the tornado watch is only now in areas like south of Knoxville, we do actually have a line of storms moving across central Tennessee, so that could be something a bit more interesting here in a little bit. As that continues to move towards Cookville, Sparta, McMinnville, and eventually going towards Crossville. So we're not quite done with severe weather, in my opinion, in Tennessee. honestly, this actually doesn't look too bad. I honestly think we could see some damaging wind potential and maybe a brief tornado out of this as it moves east. I wouldn't say it's something you have to be really concerned about, but definitely have ways to receive warnings. Brad, I don't think there's going to be anything up there in Ohio, really. The SPC did maintain the marginal risk up here, but there's really not much happening. I would not be too concerned in the Ohio Valley tonight. The risk is mainly going to be down here in the southeast. The latest radar scan still showing a tornado just northwest of Bentleyville going towards Hanover and Stewartville and Highway 231. So we still have a tornado in progress. It's right over County Road 16, or County Road 29, excuse me. This is right over County Road 29. Be tracking right up towards Stewartville over the next several minutes. This tornado may have just hit. It's not far from it, but it's almost hitting the Family Worship Center in this town, or this like a little unincorporated area. There is actually, believe it or not, a Veterans Memorial and a United States Postal Service right here. So the tornado is actually not far from that right now. There is a cemetery that this may have just hit, and a Baptist church also. And there are a couple of farms here as well where this tornado just went over. So a couple of farms in this area, plenty of trees as well. On track right now for Mount Olive and Goodwater in central Alabama. Let's check back in on the Montgomery storm. Montgomery storm still looks really messy right now. I'm not really seeing much that would indicate we're going to have an imminent tornado near Montgomery, but we're still keeping a close eye on it. Obviously, Montgomery's a pretty populated area. We've had some rotation on this, but the amount of convection that we're getting out of the south has been hindering its chances of producing a tornado on that particular storm. But we still have a tornado in progress, moving again in the direction of Mount Olive and Goodwater. This has been on the ground for a little over 10 minutes now. Approaching 231 here over the next few minutes. By the way, shout out to Susan with the $10 PayPal donation. Thank you, Lynn, Michael, Thomas, all for the Venmo donations. Thank you anybody that's super chatting as well. Appreciate the support. We are currently talking about Goodwater, Mount Olive, and Stewartville, Alabama. Those are the main locations in the track of a relatively small, but potentially on the stronger side of a tornado. I mean, we can have small tornadoes and they can still be strong. Velocities have not been as intense, so I do think this tornado has been weakening. Near the beginning of this tornado, I think it was a bit stronger. But still have a tornado going east. It'll be approaching Goodwater, Alabama here over the next several minutes. Yeah, shout out to PA Storm Trackers. Honestly, all the storm chasers we've had throughout this entire major tornado outbreak over the last 2 days. Shout out to all of them. We've had a bunch of them on stream. I don't even know. I couldn't even name all of them at this point. We've had so many. This is like the most I think we've ever had in a 1 or 2 day stretch ever. So it's kind of crazy, but we've had a lot of storm chasers. PA Storm Trackers being one of the ones that's covering today's event. By the way, tornado's still continuing. We still have a tornado going towards Hanover, Route 231. This tornado actually is still going. Not a big tornado, but it is still a tornado. So it's going to be crossing over 231 in just a moment. There is actually, Hanover is a bit more populated. We have the Central High School, the Coosa County Vocational Center. There's a gymnasium. There's a Methodist church coming up in this area. And there's also the Coosa County Family Dentistry that is currently in the path of a tornado. So assuming this stays on the ground, those areas are at risk of possible damage. And there's, again, a few buildings and a few farms kind of in this area as well. Near Hanover, Alabama. No problem, Gavin. I appreciate that. I'll have another radar scan here in a second. We are going to get some new severe thunderstorm warnings in just a moment in western Georgia near Bremen and Cedartown south of Rome. So we should be getting some new severe thunderstorm warnings here in just a moment in this area. Keep in mind that our severe weather risk will continue even into the overnight hours tonight. Our moderate risk of severe weather is still in play right now in southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and in western Georgia, where we are still anticipating the potential here for at least a few more tornadoes, maybe even several. And then in addition to damaging winds as high as 80 to 90 miles per hour, this risk of severe weather continues as well into most of Georgia tonight, going towards Tallahassee, which, as a reminder, the Tallahassee National Weather Service, the radios there, that if you have a weather radio, they are currently not operational. I don't know if that's changed, but as of about a few hours ago, they were not operational. So if you have a weather radio in Tallahassee, you might want some other ways to receive warnings, if that is still the case. But the enhanced risk is owing all the way up still into Knoxville, and slight risk even back over east of Nashville, where we do have some strong storms currently ongoing. And we actually might get a... not enough yet, but we are still seeing some broad circulation right now near Cherry Valley, back over east of Nashville. But we are still watching a low-end tornado risk here near I-40. It's moving towards Carthage and eventually going towards Cookeville. They have just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning north of Montgomery. This is going to be for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That'll be going eventually towards Alexander City and Dadeville. The tornado, it looks like, is beginning to occlude right before hitting Hanover, which is good news. This tornado was literally about to hit possibly a high school and a dentistry building near Hanover, Alabama, but it looks like it is occluding. And this is becoming more of a wind threat for right now, but we definitely could see that change over the next hour as it continues to move east-northeast. Honestly, the next concern I would say, if this can organize, would be this supercell near I-65 in Deatsville. I could see that becoming a bit more of a concern north of the Tallahassee area, and eventually going towards Dadeville and Alexander City, as that continues to move east-northeast. Come out a little bit so you guys can see all the storms. We got plenty of storms out there. There's no doubt about that. All right, there's your first severe thunderstorm warning of the evening for Georgia. This is for a bunch of different counties, including some of the counties include Floyd, Polk, Carroll, Gordon, Paulding, Harrelson, Bartow, sorry, Douglas, Fulton, Heard, and Cobb counties. That's a lot. So basically, anywhere west of Atlanta, to put it in simplistic terms, is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and this is going to be for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and they have put a tornado possible label on this. So there is a possibility for a tornado in this line. We are still witnessing very strong winds, and there are small little areas of rotation that are going to be moving into western Georgia here over the next 20 minutes. So if you're in the Atlanta area, we're going to start to see our storm activity here really ramp up over the next hour. And once again, it looks like the tornado near Hanover has occluded. Still talking about some damaging winds in this area, so continue to stay in your safe place. But the tornado threat not nearly as significant here. By the way, thank you. Shout out to Mr. A with a $50 super chat. As a radar expert and radar navigator, I find your analysis fascinating. You are a true operator. I appreciate that. Thank you also, Lotus, for the super chat. Yeah, just keep in mind, guys, like, if we have active tornadoes happening, I cannot answer what's happening in your town unless you're, like, in the tornado warning or something like that, or, you know, in an imminent risk. So just keep that in mind. I probably should preface that before, like, during live streams more, but today's and yesterday's event, I think, are perfect and fitting for that, because we've just had so many tornado warnings. So, just letting you guys know. If we ever have a PDS tornado or anything like that, there's a very low chance I'm answering your question. You have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Coosa, and Tallapoosa counties in Alabama. Let's go to PA Storm Trackers for a second. They have something here.
I feel like that's like...
I don't know why their stream isn't loading. I can hear their audio.
Best way to get out of there.
Give me 1 second, guys.
So just pump that back in.
They were just looking at something. I don't. What was that?
Second.
Yeah, wait.
Unseen. I don't know if anybody is still in that vehicle.
Oh, that's floodwaters right there. It's over in Thorsby, Alabama. We have floodwaters and a stranded vehicle.
I feel like...
Just going back a few more seconds.
Jesus, Davey.
Screw my phone. I'll just throw it around. I'm gonna take it all out and show you.
So you're blocking my view too, Davey.
Yeah, hang on.
The heck? Come on, man. What are you doing?
Vehicle stranded. It looks like a police officer on the other side of the road there. It looks like an underpass there.
And police are on scene. I don't know if anybody is still in that vehicle, because we got to find a way around now. That's how much rain has come through here.
Yeah, that actually kind of sucks because I feel like that's...
And guess
Yeah.
what? All at the end of
So
the day.
we've seen quite a bit of rain. Obviously, the flooding risk has been elevated. We have a ton of flash flood warnings in Tennessee, Kentucky, and as well as northern Alabama. And this is not even in an area where there is a flash flood warning. Or actually, it might be. Oh, it is. Okay, there is a flash flood warning here. I was about to say, but Thorsby, that's an area where there's a flash flood warning, and underpasses are obviously very prone to flash flooding. So that kind of confirms our sneaking suspicions there of the flooding threat that's been happening here across the southeast. We do have a storm back over near Ooh, that's actually interesting. Back over near Andalusia, near River Falls. There is a strong area of rotation developing in southeastern Alabama. This could become a concern pretty quickly. The rotation is beginning to intensify on this storm, going towards Dozier and Brantley, west of Opp. Rotation's starting to pick up there. There is a camera there, which I might go 3 camera overlay if I can find another one, but I need to find where this is. Your River Falls and Andalusia in southeast Alabama. We are starting to see rotation picking up on this storm. Not far from this camera. Davis. Oh, I don't have that one. Never mind. This is a live shot back over near that area of rotation. I don't think there's much lightning, but you can obviously see the rain coming down. Not a whole lot of lightning on the storm right now. We have a couple flashes of lightning over the last 5 to 10 minutes. But this storm could definitely become something more problematic as it moves towards Dozier, Brantley, and west of Elba. We're going to keep a very close eye on that storm. But all tornado warnings have actually just been canceled or let to expire. So we no longer have any active tornado warnings that are in place. But this is definitely a storm back over in southeastern Alabama that we need to watch closely. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning east of Mobile for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. And then we are really watching a very intense line of thunderstorms going now into western and northwestern Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, moving right along I-20. So definitely looking for a potential here for damaging winds and maybe an isolated tornado as this continues to move towards Atlanta. As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe down below. Again, we do severe weather coverage like this all the time. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. After all of this severe weather outbreak madness is done, we'll be posting a lot of different stuff on Twitter and Facebook, which is both at Max Velocity WX. A bunch of different updates on the tornadoes that we've seen. Any other updates that are, interesting, we'll be posting over there on Twitter and Facebook. The links to those are, by the way, in the description below. And in addition to that, you can join our Discord server, which is linked down below, to join our weather community. But while we have a little break in the tornado warnings, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. I'll be answering some of those. Let's start with Mark. Mark says, thanks for all your coverage in the Midwest last night. It was very helpful. Thanks for all your coverage in the Midwest last night. It was very helpful. I'm guessing you meant to send that once. It came out as twice. I appreciate the super chat. Guys, we're already on a new stream. This is a brand new stream, for those that are wondering. So, this is not an old stream. It is a new stream. By the way, today's stream is brought to you by our own store, shopmaxvelocity.net. I just want to remind you guys, because I know a lot of you guys follow our page and whatnot, we have about 2 weeks until our 1 million subscriber merch is gone. We have our signed hats still available. By purchasing one of these, you're supporting our designer, what we do here on this channel, in addition to a local business that's making a lot of these hats. So you can check those out, in addition to our 1 million subscriber t-shirts, stickers, mugs, posters, and much more. Just throwing it out there. If you want to check that out, at shopmaxvelocity.net. It's also the top link in the description below. The signed hats are limited. We only have about, I think we only have like 100, maybe 200 left at the most. And so they might sell out. So if you want to check that out, again, top link in the description below. It's the first business plug we've done over the 20-hour or 24-hour period of live streaming. So hopefully you guys can, bear with me here. It's the only plug that we've done, when it comes to an advertisement. So... But if you want to support our channel, that's one of the best ways to do so, is shopmaxvelocity.net. Definitely check out some of the merch, and the 1 million subscriber merch. The designs are incredible. Definitely recommend you check that out. I'm a sellout. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm selling out. My bad. We are still watching a storm again near Andalusia, or some rotation, moving towards Route 84 and River Falls and Heath. Still a potential here for a tornado as that continues to move northeast. There is significant damage being reported out of Plantersville. That's in northern Dallas County. And there's already apparently one fatality from Destine Long in this area. Significant damage in Plantersville. And I'm pretty sure in Plantersville we had reports of people trapped inside of buildings, so that's not what you want to see. North Carolina tonight. There really won't be much in North Carolina other than rain. It's more of a threat tomorrow morning. So if we hop through the future radar here, this is right around midnight tonight once it loads. This is around midnight tonight. Just some strong to severe storms from southeast Kentucky all the way back to the Florida Gulf Coast. By around 1 to 2 in the morning, this line continues to push east through Georgia and the Florida Panhandle, and also back into eastern Tennessee. Eventually, by 4 to 5 in the morning, we're talking about storms that are going to continue to line up from Charlotte back into southern Georgia and Florida. I personally think tomorrow's severe weather risk is very low. I think more than anything, we're talking mainly about a damaging wind risk, maybe a couple of tornadoes being possible. But you kind of see, like, the tornado threat tomorrow, if it does evolve, it would probably really ramp up around lunchtime from Raleigh back to Savannah and also back west of Jackson. So if that ends up panning out, there's a chance they'll be live for maybe a few hours tomorrow. But I'm not super confident that we will have a full-blown live stream tomorrow. It's a low-end risk in my opinion. It's not really enough, I think, to have a live stream, but we'll see. If things look crazy tomorrow morning, we'll be live. But good idea to click the bell icon down below so you're notified if we do end up going live. But storms are gonna be rolling through Atlanta within the next couple of hours, and we'll also have storms rolling through southeastern Alabama for the next several hours, probably all the way until 2 a.m. or so. We got plenty still out there. And then back up into Tennessee, we have a line of thunderstorms that has formed. It's mostly gusty winds. Wouldn't rule out a brief tornado with this activity, as it does continue to move to the east. Piggly Wiggly update. I can't believe somebody named a grocery store called Piggly Wiggly. I'd love to know the background to that. Love to know the background. Still watching some broad rotation right now in southern Alabama near Andalusia and River Falls. Elba, Dozier, and Brantley will be in the track of some broad rotation as this continues to move northeast. Piggly Wiggly's been around since the 50s? Wow. They literally invented the shopping carts? Oh, well, we're learning some history out here. Apparently Piggly Wigglies are known for inventing some shopping carts. Well, we got a line of thunderstorms currently coming towards Atlanta. Again, a tornado threat does exist with this activity. I think this and the storms down in southeast Alabama are probably the main storms we're watching for right now. And we might even see something try to ramp up near Montgomery. So there's about 3 areas in particular that we have our eyes on. Tennessee we're watching too, but it's mostly just gusty winds as of right now. Not seeing much in the way of severe weather, but we'll keep an eye on it. Shout out to Shad with the Venmo donation. My girl got storm anxiety and she is now sleeping sound thanks to you. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Well, I could help. Thank you, Alicia, for the Venmo. Patrick as well. Lynn, Michael, all for the Venmo donations. Just dropped my phone. Shout out to Barb, Gabriel, Ty for picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net as well. This is from one of the Alabama traffic cameras in Pine Level, Alabama, from Live Cam Chaser. You can see the wind really strong just moments ago. I think this severe thunderstorm warning is warned for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty crazy. Pretty strong winds. Very tail end of that really ramps up too. Oh, 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds in Pine Level. Shout out to Joe Ha for the $10 super chat. This is for all my Ohio peeps. I live near Wilmington in southern Ohio. Our severe risk is pretty much centered around high winds and flooding. Stay weather aware. Turn around, don't drown. That's pretty much what it is up there right now anyway. Thank you, George, for becoming a member. And thank you, Loud, for the super chat. I bought a 1 million subscriber signed hat. You've been my go-to for all weather events this past year from Dawsonville, Georgia. I appreciate that. Thank you for picking up a signed hat. For those that have ordered signed hats, by the way, they are going to be coming out, or they're going to be shipping out in the next couple weeks. Most people have already, or not most people, but the first 100 people, for the most part, have now gotten them shipped. So, but more of them will be shipping over the next couple of weeks. And it's not too late if you want to get a signed hat. This is the last signed the last signed hats that I'm doing, probably forever, because it's so painful of a process. So if you want to get one, you can get one at shopmaxvelocity.net. Top link in the description below. Mr. A says, please let the Coast Guard station in Eufaula know that they are in the path. Where is Eufaula, Alabama? Or Eufaula, Alabama? Eufaula is quite a bit of ways right now from the severe weather. I mean, most of the storms right now are back over near the Andalusia area. I cannot say that. Near River Falls and Dozier, but none of these are severe as of right now. There was at least initial concern that there was some rotation near River Falls, but these storms are all very close together, so it's going to struggle, I think, for a little bit, but we are still monitoring a potential for maybe a tornado as that moves northeast. From Montana, but here for 12 plus hours. That's a W. Thank you, Rhett. Appreciate that. We've now officially been live for 12 hours and 15 minutes total today. This is the second longest live stream we've ever had, by the way. Total, spanning consecutive hours. So this is now officially the second longest stream we've ever had. I think yesterday could have easily been the second longest stream we've ever had, or if not more, if it wasn't for us having a high risk of severe weather today. We would have been live probably 16 hours yesterday if it wasn't for us having to get up early today for a high risk. So I had to get sleep, literally. There's no other option. William, our merch does ship in Canada. Yeah, all of our merch ships, almost all of our merch ships to like every country for the most part. Thank you, Uzi, for the super chat. How are we looking over in Prattville, Alabama? Prattville, Alabama. Back over near Montgomery. Not seeing too much as of right now, just some lightning and some storms, but I do think there could be a tornado threat starting to increase a little bit now, since we have a little bit more of a discrete cell north of Montgomery, going towards Tallahassee and eventually Dadeville. So that'll be something to watch for as that moves east-northeast. But otherwise, I'm not super concerned when it comes to severe weather. Yesterday was way worse. I think yesterday was worse, but I also think today was still bad. We had plenty of strong and long track tornadoes, specifically in Mississippi, and we even had a few here in Alabama. Did not pan out to a major high risk, I would say, but this entire thing has panned out, I think. Like, we have seen enough for this to be justified as a high risk for severe weather. The only thing that stopped us from seeing more destructive tornadoes, basically, there was a few factors, but one of the biggest things that happened was that we had a much stronger southerly wind in the jet stream, which kind of led to disorganized supercells, and we had a lot more convection firing off out in front of the line. And that premature convection essentially weakened any of the discrete supercells that we actually had. So, hey, you click for the super chat. Love from Texas. You made me feel safe during some nasty storms in DFW. Currently, my grandma is in Columbus, Alabama, so I'm watching her, so she's going to be okay. I think most people will be okay here tonight in Alabama, but we're still watching for maybe one more tornado, maybe two more in Alabama. Georgia, this line of storms going towards Atlanta, honestly, looks a bit more interesting. I think a QLCS tornado threat could definitely evolve as this moves east. Well, it's going to be something that we're watching. Fan watching from Dothan, Alabama. Any updates? Not really many updates for Dothan. I mean, we still got about 1 to 2 hours until we have some storms knocking on your doorstep. So, still got a little time. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate that. Say my name. I am not saying your name. Is it going to hit southern Kentucky? Technically, southern Kentucky is still in a risk of severe weather, but there is really nothing left. I mean, the only thing that could be severe in the next hour or two is this line of thunderstorms, which is now pushing through central eastern Tennessee, going towards Cookeville, and also moving into southeastern Kentucky. But really, that's not severe. It's just some strong storms, maybe a brief tornado out of activity, but it's not a very favorable environment. We definitely have flash flooding, though, that's going to continue over there. Shout out to Dalen for the $6 Venmo. I know you do this because you genuinely love it. You must know, though, you literally save lives when you don't have to when you don't have chat in front of you, just go to sleep knowing that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't honestly think a whole lot of it. I just love doing this, and that's why I do it all the time. So, also shout out to Doha, David, Kirk, Judy, Carson, Russell, Lawrence, Barb for all picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Appreciate it. How's Dalton, Georgia going to be tonight? Mostly wind. But right now, the most severe activity is down to your south. And I'm not sure we're going to see a whole lot up in Dalton. I'd say it's going to be more of a wind threat. Still a low tornado risk up there. Still a low tornado risk. Where's my cat? She's probably sleeping. Charging my power bank right now. That's a good idea. If you're anywhere near storms, or if you're still in the risk of severe weather, it's always a good idea to have your power banks charged, your phones, all that stuff. It should be charged up, ready to go. Severe weather is going to continue here into the overnight hours, and it will continue into tomorrow morning. And there will be plenty of power outages out of these storms. Speaking of power outages, let's check out the power outage map. This is poweroutage.us. A bunch of power outages being reported here across the country. 41,000 without power in Michigan. Illinois has 12,000 without power. Missouri has 72,000 without power. Tennessee at 19,000. 13,000 in Mississippi, 54,000 in Alabama, and 13,000 already in Georgia. Majority of the ones in Alabama are currently where there are severe storms. So the eastern side of the state, back through Chilton, even back through Wilcox and Monroe. We have plenty of power outages right now. And then the ones over in Georgia are mainly on the western half of the state. And also up in Fannin County, which we did have a severe storm there not too long ago. Currently, the biggest concern that we have here over the next 30 to 45 minutes is, one, the line of storms that's moving towards Atlanta. We are expecting damaging winds to be a continuing threat as this moves towards Atlanta and Roswell. And then in addition to that, we are watching a storm back over near Montgomery that is attempting to rotate. We're still watching this storm activity. I'm not sure if it's going to become tornadic, but I think it has a chance because this is a discrete supercell. We've seen stuff like this today, but I'm not 100% confident that we're going to get something here. We've had a lot of messy convection over here over the last couple hours, but it's starting to organize more. So over the next hour or so, definitely something to watch for. Back up between Alexander City and north of Auburn. Just to the north there of Montgomery, Alabama. And then in southeastern Alabama, we've been dealing with some storm activity. Nothing's really materialized out of this, but there is still some broad rotation near River Falls and Dozier. And this is continuing to move to the northeast. All right, let me look at chat here. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. We'll be kind of answering questions, just chatting until we have something more significant, like a wind risk or a tornado. Riley asks, how will this affect South Carolina? Well, South Carolina is going to see severe weather tomorrow. As a reminder, we do have a risk of severe weather in place. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather from Washington, D.C. back into Jacksonville and Gainesville, Florida. The main concern here will be damaging winds. There will also be a potential for a few tornadoes. I personally think our tornado risk for tomorrow is on the lower side of things. I don't think it's really that high, but we are going to keep a close eye on it. And I would say there's a 40% chance we go live tomorrow. I don't honestly think it's going to be that high of a chance. I just don't see tomorrow being a day that is going to be that significant, but main time frame would be late morning into the afternoon hours tomorrow. Shout out to William, Josh, Mike, Darcy, Peggy, Alejandra, and as well as Loken for all picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Appreciate the support. What's my cat's name? She is named Cheese Curd. and she is 6 years old. Max, you'll sleep until next weekend. The worst part about everything is that I have an exam on Friday. So, and I have not studied a single bit for that. I've had no time. Can't wait. Shout out to Chase for the $50 super chat. My mom is in Newman, Georgia, and I'm in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Should we seek shelter or will we be fine? Let me see where Newman, Georgia is right now. You're not currently in a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, and honestly, your severe weather is probably still over an hour away, because the only severe storms that would probably hit you are these back out here to the west, unless we have something form out in front of this line. So, yeah, you're probably, I mean, you don't have to seek shelter right now if you're outside of the severe thunderstorm warning, but stay weather aware. Your weather is going to be possible, probably about an hour or two in that area. Tim White with the $10 Venmo asked, will Pensacola be okay? Pensacola, right now, not really seeing much. The only storm that we have any concern about is well to your north. I would say there's still a low chance of severe weather near Pensacola, but in this setup, it's really not a favorable environment for the Gulf Coast to see much severe weather. So Pensacola, Destin, and back through Panama City, we might see isolated damaging winds, maybe even like a brief spin up somewhere, but I think the risk is mainly going to be back off to your north, where there's a bit more of a materialized environment as of right now. I have some people asking, should I be going to my tornado shelter, storm shelter, whatever it might be? Unless you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, there's not really much of a reason to, unless I give you a call out that, hey, there might be a tornado dropping in the next few minutes. So for those that are wondering, like if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, I'd be in your safe place. We don't have any active tornado warnings. We do have some storms that have tornado possible labels, mainly west of Atlanta. That's like the main one that we're watching, with strong winds moving right along I-20 towards Douglasville in Atlanta. And we actually will have some cameras coming up. Let's go to Bartow County. That is this one, I believe. Also, new report in Bremen, Georgia, just coming out right now. This line of storms moving through Bremen. A brand new report that there is there's currently several trees and power lines down. So this is an intense area of wind that is moving right along I-20 into Bremen, and it will be tracking towards Douglasville over the next several minutes in Georgia. Am I a baseball guy? I am not. Not really. I don't mind baseball, but it's kind of mid. All right, bottom right of your screen, we're going to put Bartow County, the cyclone port, northwest of Atlanta on there, because the severe weather is going to be rolling into that area here soon. There it is. Shout out to Tabetha with the Venmo donation. Thank you for keeping us safe. I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, thank you, Will, for the super chat. What's the outlook for Roswell? Where's Roswell? I guess you mean Roswell, Georgia. Current outlook for anywhere around the Atlanta suburbs. So if you're basically near South Fulton, back through about Calhoun, the main concern within the next hour and a half or so is mainly going to be damaging winds. But again, we could still see an isolated tornado out of this activity. This is not a really strong tornado risk, in my opinion, that we're seeing right now, like around the Atlanta area, at least right now. But there is an isolated chance for a tornado. It would mainly come out of something in this line of thunderstorms. So we'd be talking more about almost a QLCS tornado risk with this, which would be an embedded tornado in a line of thunderstorms. And really the main area that I'd be watching for that in would be right along I-20. Right now, it's mainly a surge of damaging winds, but that's one of the areas that we need to watch for. And some of the reports that we're just getting in Bremen, Georgia, for example, is that there's several trees and power lines down. So if you're back over in Atlanta or anywhere in the suburbs, I would definitely recommend that you have flashlights ready to go, batteries as well, handy, and have closed-toed shoes just in case you actually end up getting some sort of tornado warning. because power outages are becoming increasingly likely with this surge of damaging winds moving into northwestern Georgia. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning south of Oxford, near Lineville and Ashland in Alabama for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. And this storm north of Montgomery, really not rotating much. It's mostly just wind for right now. And we do have some broad circulation still continuing in southeast and southern Alabama near Dozier and Brantley. So if those storms can become a bit more discreet, which they'll probably struggle to do, but if they can, that can become a bit more of a significant threat. Actually, we do have a considerable threat down here in southern Alabama, back over in Atmore, Century, and Bruton, and Pollard. This is right in the Florida Panhandle and as well as into southern Alabama. This is going to be for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and as well as golf ball sized hail. Getting a report from somebody in chat that in Douglasville that their wind blew their window in. William, it's not been the last 9 hours. I would say we have had a lot of tornadoes. Last hour or so has been a little bit quieter, but we still had a tornado over in Alabama, and we still have a lot of severe weather still ongoing, mostly wind. But still watching for maybe an isolated tornado or two before this tornado outbreak is fully done. Shout out to Audrey, Eric, Robin, and Lindsay for the Venmo donations. Guys, I'm one person. There's 36,000 of you. I cannot answer every single specific city. I'm trying my best here to cover all bases, but I cannot cover every single city or town. Generally speaking, the tornado risk right now is not high, but it's kind of in the low to medium stage right now. I would kind of consider our tornado risk for the next few hours to kind of be like a slight risk for severe weather. That's kind of where we've gotten to. But the wind risk is still definitely elevated. I would say that's more of like an enhanced type risk of severe weather right now. I know we still have a moderate risk of severe weather in place, but I'd have to say we're not really seeing that pan out right now. It's more of a enhanced type risk of tornadoes. Now, if we start to see more discrete supercells, it could easily pan out, but we've had a lot of problems with that happening today. Or really more this evening rather than today. That was happening a lot this morning and early afternoon. Hey, Salty, for the super chat. Became a member today. Greatly appreciate you. I have a family in Phoenix City, Alabama. Yeah, I can't answer every city, but I will check. Some people are sneaking it into some of these messages. It's Phoenix City, Alabama. It's near Columbus. This area will be probably a little bit more of a concern for maybe a low-end tornado risk. It's going to depend, again, if these storms down here, northwest of Donathan, actually evolve into something. Currently, they're very disorganized, but if they can become more discreet, we could have a bit more of an elevated tornado risk with that activity. Hey, Becca, appreciate the Venmo donation. So Hunter asked, I'm on the second floor of a studio apartment. Should I seek shelter elsewhere if you're like under a tornado warning? So if you're on the second floor of an apartment building, one of the best things to do if you have the first floor and there's like a bathroom or something, that's probably a pretty good place to go. If not, plan ahead of time where you're going to go, or try to get to the most interior room of that second floor studio apartment building. But really one of the best things to do if you have a friend on the first floor and you just say, hey, if we're under a tornado warning, can you make sure I can get into your room or something when we have a tornado warning? Then that might be one of the best things to do. But otherwise, really interior room of your apartment is probably one of the better moves. Unless you have a bathroom on like the first floor that's like a public use or something like that, which I don't know what apartments even have that. I just thought of it, so. I don't know why you'd get a public use bathroom on the first floor of an apartment building when, you already have one. I don't know where I was going with that, but you might. I don't know. Maybe somebody does in the chat. I don't know. It's very strange. All right. Thank you, Barkley, for becoming a member. Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. Are we done in the Knoxville area? Knoxville isn't quite done. There will be a second round of storms, probably overnight, but I don't really expect there to be much severe weather. Currently, it's just a line of some damaging, or not really damaging winds, but gusty winds. That's what it looks like on the Radar Omega camera back over in DeKalb. Can't really see much on that one. But the line of storms moving in right now. Short Mountain is crazy. It's really windy. I just went there. But yeah, mostly just some gusty winds. I don't really expect much more severe weather in Knoxville tonight. I think it's at this point on the lower side of things. So right now we have a line of storms again approaching Atlanta, Georgia. If you have any friends or family in this area, if they need severe weather coverage, feel free to share the stream with them. Again, we'll be live at least through Atlanta, Georgia tonight, maybe a bit further than that, because I know a lot of you guys are tuning in from the Atlanta area and the suburbs. Again, damaging winds being the main concern right now. Still have a potential for a tornado or two out of this line, and we still have a tornado or two potential even in Alabama that we're still keeping a close eye on. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. We do, again, severe weather coverage like this all the time. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, which is at MaxVelocityWX. Links in the description. We'll be posting a lot of updates post severe weather outbreak about the all the tornadoes that we've had and all the reports that we've seen as well. And as a reminder, our tornado watch is in effect until 4 a.m. That is 4 a.m. Eastern time for northern and western Georgia, central, eastern, and southern Alabama, and also the Florida Panhandle. Several tornadoes are still possible over the next few hours. Again, the wording from the Storm Prediction Center is that several tornadoes and a couple of intense tornadoes are likely, but keep in mind that a lot of this has already happened. We still have a chance for maybe a few more tornadoes, but not... I don't know if we're really going to see that many more intense tornadoes. Really, the bigger concern that's starting to grow right now is the scattered damaging wind risk, up to 70 miles per hour, and then isolated large hail as large as a size of 2 inches is going to be a possibility as well. Will it be safe to drive tomorrow from St. Augustine to Atlanta? Or should we wait? I mean, it's safe. If you end up running into like a severe storm or something like that, you might want to like try to avoid it, pull over, something like that. But you're probably going to run into severe storms tomorrow at some point, or at least some sort of rain activity. It's going to kind of be hard to avoid this line of storms tomorrow in the southeast. So once again, this is what it's going to look like. After it loads here, this is what it's going to look like tomorrow morning. So this is around 7, 8 in the morning. Notice how we have some scattered showers and thunderstorms in the southeast. We'll continue to see severe storms potentially from Savannah back into Jacksonville and obviously further north, but back in the southeast like Georgia and Florida, there will be some severe weather out there. But again, it's going to be kind of hard to avoid storms. I think you're going to run into some level of rain. I don't think there's any reason to like cancel your trip. It's not like we're going to have another tornado outbreak tomorrow. At least it's not currently in the forecast. So
A new tornado warning has been issued.
all right, we now have a new tornado warning that has been issued. This is north of Montgomery. So brand new tornado warning has been issued north of Montgomery near Alexander City, New Site, and Dadeville. If you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building. Once again, that's for Dadeville, Alexander City, and New Site near Route 280. Rotation currently is not overly strong yet, but is probably going to be wrapping up over the next few minutes, as we are going to see some tornado genesis happen here, approaching Highway 63. This is a storm we've been talking about for well over an hour now. We were just kind of waiting to see if it ever got organized, and it looks like it's now trying to organize. Near Alexander City, Jackson's Gap, and Dadeville. It's a bit more of a populated area here. See what Dadeville looks like here. This is... Sorry, Dadeville, I don't know if I said Mississippi. This is Dadeville, Alabama. But Coosa and Tallapoosa counties in Alabama are included in this tornado warning. Dadeville, specifically, there's about 3,000 people that live there. Oscar's Cafe and the Funky Goat and Lake Martin Pizza are in the track of this possible tornado. Piggly Wiggly, Dollar General, Family Dollar are also in the path, and there's also a few schools there. There's also a Stillwater's Golf Club. And the Dadeville City Hall and Gymnasium are areas that could be hit by this. New radar scans coming in right now. We'll see what it looks like. Thank you for the very generous $50 super chat. What part of Georgia is Athens in? Latest radar scan just came in. The rotation is beginning to intensify. Again, I think we're about to see tornado genesis happen with this cell as it moves towards Jackson's Gap. Rotation is definitely improving.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And we now have a new tornado warning that has just been issued. This is going to be all the way back down in southern Alabama, west of Ozark, near Brantley. So the rotation's currently moving in the direction of Glenwood and Goshen. If you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. South of Lovering. This will eventually go towards Troy. This is, again, another storm that we've been talking about for a while, too, and it's now starting to intensify just a little bit here over the last few minutes. And the rotation aloft is actually relatively strong. So a little bit higher up into the atmosphere, stronger rotation on this supercell back over near Brantley. That'll eventually go towards Troy and the Brundage area. And no confirmed tornado as of right now on this, but you can see the rotation is definitely intensifying over the town of Brantley in Mississippi, or in Alabama. This is for Crenshaw County in southern Alabama. Athens is northeast Georgia. I think Athens will be mainly a wind risk, low tornado risk up there. Well, the radar's updating very quickly. I'm going to wait for the radar scan here. Actually, it glitched out. We'll wait a second. Let's go back to Alexander City. And tornado threat is definitely increasing. We're starting to actually see a little hook echo develop on this. Inflow is starting to get a little bit stronger. Highway 280 is in the path of this. Lake Hill Estates, Jackson's Gap, Piney Point, and Alexander City in Alabama are currently in the track of a possible tornado. Nothing confirmed as of right now, but this is online right now to head in the direction of Jackson's Gap, Alexander City, and Dadeville. And this tornado, if there's a tornado, could go literally anywhere in the pink polygon. So you need to be taking this seriously. If you're a new site, Alexander City or Dadeville, doesn't really matter where I'm drawing my arrow. Just keep that in mind. But the general direction will, again, be northeast. But it could still turn north. It could still go east. It could go south. I mean, tornadoes change directions like crazy. We've had drunknadoes happen before. It's very, very possible. Go back down to the southern tornado warning near Brantley. Rotation in the low levels is not overly impressive, but the rotation aloft is very strong. So there could be some sort of wall cloud or something like that, some sort of lowering over Brantley right now. And so we may see a tornado with this soon as it goes towards Carmen and Glenwood, and eventually going towards Spring Hill, Alabama. Let's go to Dallas, Georgia. Apparently there's something happening there. Yeah, okay, so this storm over here, west of Atlanta, We need to watch this one closely as well. There's at least a little hook shape that you can kind of see there. I'm not really that concerned about that, but this also could undergo tornado genesis as this moves towards the north suburb side here of Atlanta. Let's see. Get that camera on here. Yeah, they got the Kennesaw camera coming up as well. I'm going to try to get that on here soon. We're going to go 3-camera view here. This storm might be trying to wrap up, though. There is currently a tornado possible label on this on the west side of Atlanta. In addition to that, damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour is likely. As this moves through Douglasville, it'll be moving through Lithia Springs, Marbleton as well. Thank you, Hayden, for pointing that out. I would have never noticed that. I don't know why Brandon Kopic is there. But eventually this will be moving east-northeast and eventually going towards Sandy Springs. I would have to say, though, there's probably at least some rotation there, right there near Dallas, Georgia. Be going towards Kennesaw here soon. This storm is really ramping up quickly. Back over in Alexander City, near Dadeville, this storm is quickly wrapping up. We have strong rotation developing on this. We're probably going to get a tornado here in a moment, going towards Dadeville, new site, just south and west there of Wadley. Going towards Highway 49. That rotation is ramping up very, very quickly. And we might get a tornado warning there just northwest of Atlanta here in a few minutes. I honestly think that this storm is attempting to produce a tornado there near Dallas. It's going to be heading towards Marietta and Interstate 75, just north of Atlanta, Georgia. Bottom middle of your screen is Kennesaw on the Radar Omega camera. And then the other camera's back up near Cartersville. And then the bottom right is back over on the southern tornado warning, just to the west of that. Which we're still watching the Bentley storm as well. That is tornado warned. Rotation aloft is still strong, over Brantley in southeast Alabama. Rotation's still strong on this. It's going to be approaching Glenwood, Goshen, and eventually going towards Troy and Brundage in Alabama on the long term. But in the short term, it's over the Brantley area in Crenshaw County. Alexander City storm definitely still looks concerning, though. We'll have another radar scan on this in a moment. As a reminder, if you have any friends or family in the path of these storms tonight, feel free to share the stream with them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any platform that you'd like. Definitely get the word out there. Again, we'll be live here as long as needed. I know a lot of people are probably going to sleep now, but I mean, right now we're still dealing with the threat for tornadoes and damaging winds. So, still need everybody to be staying weather aware this evening in case we do end up getting another tornado or, you know, burst of damaging winds that knocks down trees, that sort of stuff. I'll have another radar scan in a second in Alabama. Huge W's in the chat for Natalie with the $75 Venmo donation. You're way too kind. In Hampton, Georgia. Thanks for keeping me sane in Hampton, Georgia. That's what we're trying to do here. We are trying to make sure everybody's all right tonight. I honestly didn't think we would be live more than 12 hours today, but here we are. We are easily going to be approaching a 14, 15-hour stream today, which this is officially already our second longest stream of all time, consistently. We are clocking in already at over... Okay, we should have a tornado warning on this. I'm surprised there's still no tornado warning on this. We have a hook echo now over the south side of Dallas in Georgia, northwest of Atlanta. So there's actually a hook on this now. It's going in the direction, again, of Marietta, Kennesaw, and Ackworth. The rotation has been increasing over the last several minutes. It is a storm that has become a lot more concerning over the last few minutes as well. And there is a tightening of rotation. I mean, we might even have a tornado here on the south side of Dallas. This is a very populated area, too, on the northwest side of the Atlanta area. We might have something there. The velocities are pretty tight. There you go.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, brand new tornado warning. This is going to be on the north and west side of Atlanta, back up near Dallas, Woodstock, and Kennesaw, west of Marietta. Seek shelter immediately. Get away from windows. Get on the lowest floor possible. Get on an interior room of your home or building. This is a dangerous storm. There may already be a tornado in progress, and if there is one, it's going to be over the south side of Dallas. So that's where this is currently at, south side of Dallas. There are a ton of people that live in this warning. We have a lot of different residential communities. Just by looking at the road map, there's a bunch of different places. I can't name them all off, but it's basically in the general vicinity right now of Dallas, Georgia, moving towards Kennesaw, Georgia. And it will be approaching Woodstock and Ackworth, just to the north and west of Marietta. So if you are in this warning, you should be getting to your storm shelter, your basement, your closet, your bathroom. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible and get into an interior room of your home or building.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And we have yet again another tornado warning in Alabama. That will be for Pike County in Alabama. Just to the west of Ozark, northwest of Dothan. This is a supercell that is also attempting to undergo tornado genesis, moving towards Troy. Troy is the main location on the track of this. So seek shelter, get away from windows, and get on the lowest floor possible if you are in that tornado warning. But this storm here northwest of Atlanta is really, really ramping up right now. We may have a tornado on the ground near Dallas. We're just waiting for a new radar scan. If you have any friends or family in this warning, again, feel free to share the stream with them. At least give them a message. Make sure they're still awake. Again, reminder that it's technically about 12 a.m. now, Eastern time in Georgia. The time zones are a little bit weird. I know the time at the top right of your screen is in Central Time. We still have severe weather in Alabama, so it's kind of hard to really pick a time zone here, but, you know, getting late. In northwest Georgia, it's about to be midnight, so there's probably a lot of people that are sleeping. Hopefully they're getting the warning, though, here for Dallas. Still waiting for a radar scan there. Quickly going back down to the tornado warning near Alexander City. Yeah, we still have a hook on this storm approaching Jackson's Gap. We've had no confirmed tornado at this point, but the rotation is still strong enough to the point where it's probably going to try to intensify over the next few minutes as it approaches Jackson's Gap and Route 280, and it will eventually go towards Highway 49. Just northwest of Dadeville, moving towards New Site as well. And then back over near Troy, we still have a tornado warning here as well. Rotation is a little bit broader, but if you're in Troy or Banks in Alabama, make sure that you are staying in that safe place. Let's go back to the Dallas storm, which is still not updated yet. Once again, a dangerous storm right now on the northwest side of Atlanta. Even if we don't get a tornado here, we're still talking about damaging winds around 70 miles per hour. You want to be sure you're taking this seriously. Bottom middle of your screen, that's in Kennesaw, Georgia. So we might go full cam to that if we get something more into view there. I just happened to see this, but apparently Lori just said, I spent my 60th birthday with you. Happy 60th birthday. Any storm chasers on the ground? I honestly don't think there's very many storm chasers left out there that are chasing tonight. Because, like, I think everybody was tired, exhausted from chasing yesterday. There's only there might be a few out there, but none of that I know of, or that we have. But the Radar Omega camera network here is pretty good for this part of the country. Over in Cartersville, the wind is picking up very quickly. Bottom left of your screen, that is just to the north of the Dallas area. And, all right, this is getting a little bit more concerning. Okay, so right over the northeast side of Dallas, if we have a tornado, that's where it's going to be at. This is the latest radar scan. We got a hook here. And we're waiting to see if the CC radar updates. I'm going to double check this. Cannot confirm if we have a tornado yet, but if there was a tornado on this storm, it would be on the east side of Dallas now, in Georgia, approaching Kennesaw. Strongest rotation right now over the east and northeast side of Dallas, going towards Kennesaw. I still think out of all the storms we have right now, the Alexander... Oh, man, this might be a big tornado that's about to drop. We have very strong rotation right now near Alexander City. This is probably going to be dropping in the next few minutes if it isn't already on the ground. And I actually think we have a tornado possibly. Maybe a debris signature. I don't think that's definitive, though. It's kind of further east of the rotation. We have very strong rotation right now, though, near Alexander City, moving towards Jackson's Gap, Davidson, and New Site here in eastern Alabama, going towards 5 Points, Roanoke, and Wadley. It's a dangerous storm right now. We got a strong inflow and a hook echo moving to the northeast. This is likely going to be dropping a significant tornado, and it might be a strong tornado already. But we likely are about to have a significant tornado that's dropping here near Jackson's Gap. And this is a tornado, I think, now. We are getting a little bit more of a view there. That is a tornado that has just dropped near Jackson's Gap.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter
So this has just been
immediately.
upgraded. It is now a confirmed tornado near Jackson's Gap in Alabama. This could, again, be a significant tornado that drops here. It might be even stronger than it is right now. Velocities are very strong. This is currently moving northeast towards Highway 49. Davidson and New Site are in the track of this. It'll eventually go towards Wadley and Roanoke. And 5 Points here in eastern Alabama. So you need to be in your storm shelter. Basement, closet, or bathroom. If you're in this tornado warning, get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible, as this is a tornado that is quickly growing in size right now as it moves to the northeast. And from what I'm hearing, this debris signature is getting larger. The tornado warning over in Dallas and Kennesaw and Woodstock in Georgia has just been updated. The rotation here is still located on the north side of the tornado warning. It's going in the direction, again, of Kennesaw and Ackworth. Still a tornado possible there north and west of the Atlanta area. And keep in mind, if you don't get any sort of severe weather out of this in the Atlanta area, we still got another round of storms coming in and within the next hour that could also produce the same risks that we are seeing with that other line, including damaging winds and possibly a tornado. And the tornado debris signature is beginning to get larger over Jackson's Gap. So we do have, again, a tornado in progress just north there of Highway 280. It's going towards Eagle Creek, Sessions, and then eventually towards Davidson. This is an active tornado right now, east of Riverbend. For Tallapoosa County in Alabama. See if what we got here in front of this tornado right now. So currently this is going to be this tornado, if it stays on the ground, which it probably will for a little bit, it's going to be going towards the Kylie Cooper Farms. There is the Eagle Creek Baptist Church that's in the track of this. Morn Welding Repair. Horseshoe Bend National Military Park. The Zion Hill Baptist Church. And a couple other churches in the area as well. And we are probably about to get another significant tornado near Troy. So we are probably about to get a possibly a strong or large tornado in this storm near Troy. We have a hook echo, inflow notch, and everything. Lots of lightning, and the rotation is intensifying rapidly over the last several minutes near Troy, near Highway 87, near Banks. So this storm is also starting to ramp up right now. This is back over in southeastern Alabama, off to the northwest of Dothan. That storm is very quickly ramping up. And this tornado is continuing. Very clear debris signature right now, which again, what we're looking at is the correlation coefficient. We clearly have a tornado currently approaching
This is
Ooh,
an
man,
emergency
this is now
alert.
PDS.
A large and strong tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
So the National Weather Service has upgraded this to a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. What that means is that there is a large and extremely dangerous tornado in progress going towards Toho-Peka, eventually going towards Zana and Davidson and Simpson. So you need to be in your safe place immediately. If you can, if you have a mattress or a helmet, you're going to want to put those over top of you, get into the tub, get into wherever that safe place is. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get to a sturdy structure, or you need to get into a ditch, because a mobile home is not going to be safe during a storm like this. So you need to get to your safe place immediately. This is a large and extremely dangerous tornado that's about to hit Highway 49 near Eagle Creek and Sessions, and it's going to be going towards Davidson, east of New Site, and just off to the southwest right now of Wadley. But again, Wadley's in the track of this tornado here very soon. This is a intense supercell that's quickly moving to the northeast, and there is again a confirmed tornado with this. Velocities are very strong on this as well. I'm going to remind you guys a lot of this, but if you have any friends or family, again, in the track of any storms right now that are tornadic, I would definitely recommend at least reaching out and make sure that they're aware of it, make sure that they're awake. I don't care if you share the stream with them, just make sure that they are aware of this situation. This particular storm here east of Alexander City, again, long-term going towards Wadley, Roanoke, in Alabama. And again, we're not even far away from having another tornado dropping near Troy. Rotations intensifying near Troy, going towards Banks and Route 29. I'll have another radar scan here in a second. Actually, I'm going to go back up to the Georgia tornado just in case if there is something on this. Or tornado warning, I should say. Radar has not updated really recently. No debris signature still on the tornado warning here northwest of Atlanta. But there is still at least some broad circulation heading into Kennesaw. I think it's going to be mostly a wind threat there for Kennesaw and Woodstock. Still a chance for an isolated tornado, though, as that activity continues to move east. And this tornado is still ripping. It's still producing damage. This is, again, near Eagle Creek. Currently, this tornado is hitting a lot of trees, but there's also the Eagle Creek Baptist Church that is in the vicinity of this area. And also, right on this road here, there is the Eagle Creek Volunteer Fire Department, Station 2. And Morin Welding and Repair Store is near this area as well. And there are some buildings right here near Toho-Peka. Looks like some farms and a few homes that are there, which is definitely not a good thing, near Parrott Road. If you're just tuning in, again, this is a PDS tornado, a particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning in eastern Alabama that we're currently looking at. That's east of Alexander City right now. And this storm over here, northwest of Dothan, might be the next one to do something similar. And that might produce a significant tornado here soon. And then if you're around Atlanta, we got one of two rounds of storms rolling through right now. One of which is producing damaging winds and an isolated tornado risk. We still have a tornado warning there for Kennesaw. And then we also have another line of storms back behind that near Cedartown and Bremen that is currently producing damaging winds. And this could also do something similar where it produces the potential for an isolated tornado as that moves into northwestern Georgia. So this is a continuing risk right now of severe weather. Tornado is now hitting Toho-Peka. Unfortunately, there are homes right here that are along this roadway that are potentially being damaged by this tornado right along Highway 49 north of Eagle Creek. Yeah, just east of Alexander City. I know it's a bit more of a rural area here of Alabama, but nonetheless, there are still people that live here. And unfortunately, they are taking a hit from that tornado there. The Troy storm has a slightly bit broader area of rotation, but is still a storm that could produce a tornado at any time. We have a little bit of convection kind of messing up the hook here, but if it's able to get a more clean inflow, a tornado is very possible near Troy, going towards Banks. Long-term, Midway, Union Springs, just west of Clayton, back through Midway, Hurtsboro, and Pittsview will be in the track of this storm, which is going to be capable of producing a tornado. All right, I've got to really quickly take a 60-second break. I haven't peed in a while. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is an Eastern Alabama PDS tornado.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, we are back. Tornado warning was just updated for Pike County, Alabama. It's still radar indicated. If you are just tuning in again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado that is in progress heading towards Davidson. It is actually no longer PDS. Sorry, it was downgraded. It's back down to radar or it's back down to observed, but it's no longer a PDS tornado warning. Sorry, I had to run back, running out of breath. But still a tornado in progress. It's no longer a large or extremely dangerous tornado, but is still producing damage. And I would honestly say every tornado is dangerous. It's still going to send debris flying. And this is traveling right up Highway 49. And we'll be going towards Davidson. So again, seek shelter if you are in this warning. Away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Going towards Davidson, Alabama. Not just this, but we also have a few other tornado warnings. Back over in Troy, this storm has been attempting to ramp up. We still have strong rotation over the center and south side right now of Troy, Alabama, going towards Banks and up Highway 29. New radar scans coming in. I'm going to see what it looks like here, and then we'll go to Georgia. We also have a tornado warning that is now been canceled in Georgia. So we no longer have a tornado warning in Georgia, but we still have severe weather happening in and around Atlanta, and there's still a chance that we could have an isolated tornado out of not just that line of storms, but there's another one behind it. The latest radar scan is showing strengthening rotation near Forest Acres Mobile Home Park and the Country Club Estates over the south side of Troy, Alabama. And unfortunately, this is a mobile home park, which means that there are people that are in mobile homes here, and that is not a safe place to be during a tornado warning. Or really any severe thunderstorm warning in general. That rotation is tightening right over that Forest Acres mobile home park.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And we now have a new tornado warning. This is going to be back up near Roanoke. We've been giving you an early heads up on this for quite a while. Roanoke, Wadley, south of Wedowee is in the track of a tornado. This has already been confirmed, and it is a tornado that could continue or even recycle as it moves into your area. So again, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building if you're in Wadley or Roanoke in eastern Alabama. The tornado warning here just outside of Atlanta has been canceled. However, there is still a risk of severe weather that will continue. We first off have a line of storms that is currently moving through the north suburbs of Atlanta, producing mainly a damaging wind risk. There's still a chance for an isolated tornado as it eventually moves towards Gainesville. And then we have a second cluster of storms that is going to move through. Now, after the second cluster, if you're in Atlanta, you're going to be clearing out, hopefully, right? So this will probably be the last area of thunderstorm activity for your area. So I know a lot of you guys are probably hoping for a break, and you'll get one. You'll get one a little after midnight tonight. But for now, we're still talking about another damaging wind risk that'll be coming through your area. Once again, this storm near Troy is very close to producing a tornado. going towards Banks, Monticello, but Troy by far is the most populated area here. We have a new radar scan coming in. Let's see what that looks like. Are you a meteorologist? I will officially be a degreed meteorologist in about 40 days. Currently in my senior year for bachelor's in meteorology. I've also been doing this for like 5 years, so. All right, latest velocity scan should be coming in a second. While we wait for that, I do want to show you a video. This is from the Roxanne traffic camera back over, or Roxanne traffic cam in Georgia just moments ago. This is from Live Cam Chaser on Twitter. Very high winds. And again, this is the power of what these storms are going to be doing in and around the Atlanta, Georgia area. Gives you an idea of how strong the winds are, even without there being a tornado.
This is an emergency alert.
Okay,
A large and strong tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
All right, we once again have a PDS tornado warning. This is a particularly dangerous situation for the south, for Pike County in Alabama. So this is near Troy. This tornado right now is over the Forest Acres Mobile Home Park. There are mobile homes that are being hit by this tornado more than likely right now, approaching the south and east side of Troy. And it will eventually go towards Banks. And Monticello is also going to be in the track of this. So again, you need to be in your storm shelter, your basement, your closet, your bathroom. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible if you are in this tornado warning. And oh my goodness, this is very strong rotation. This is on the velocities right now. Very strong rotation right now in Troy. The correlation coefficient has not updated yet comparatively to the tornado, but we are probably about to see a big debris signature on the south and east side of Troy with how strong those velocities are. So if you are in Troy right now, you got to be taking this, you got to get to your safe place. You should have already been there a while ago, but there is a strong tornado in progress moving through Troy and eventually going towards Banks. Velocities are very strong though on this storm right now.
This is an urgent alert.
And we
a
now have
tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter
an
immediately.
upgrade. The northern tornado warning has been upgraded back to being confirmed. So we once again have a tornado in progress near Davidson. It's moving towards Wadley. And again, moving northeast.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And they have just issued a new tornado warning to extend the PDS tornado warning out. Or maybe not. I think that's what it is. That would be going up towards Midway. For Bullock and Barber counties in Alabama, you are now in a new tornado warning, and that's what that is. So Midway, north of Clayton, south of Union Springs, you are now included in a brand new tornado warning. This is associated with a large and extremely dangerous tornado that is currently in progress near Troy. And we are beginning to see a debris signature on radar. So debris is now being lofted up into the atmosphere on the east side of Troy. This may have just hit the mobile home park on the south side of Troy as well. And velocities, again, are very, very intense on this particular storm. And that's a strong tornado if I've ever seen one. Gate-to-gate shears, at least 120.
This is an emergency alert. A large and strong tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
This tornado warning has just been upgraded from not just being radar indicated, but it is actually now upgraded to being an observed tornado. So this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado that has now been observed here outside of Troy. This is a very, again, intense area of rotation. We are talking about a potentially intense tornado moving towards Banks, Sandfield, and Monticello. It just hit the east and south side of Troy over the last couple of minutes. But this tornado has been upgraded again to an observed, large and extremely dangerous tornado moving towards Sandfield and Corinth. There is a big debris ball on radar. This is a big-time tornado right now on the east side of Troy. Your Elm Hill Plantation, that was just hit by this and done. I am very glad we stayed live. I was debating it earlier. I'm Hopefully we're getting the word out. If you guys have any friends or family, again, in the track of this, please make sure that they are aware of this.
This is an emergency alert. A large and strong tornado is on the ground.
Okay, so
seek shelter immediately.
the tornado warning that's out in front of this for Bullock and Barber counties has been upgraded to PDS. So we now have 2 PDS tornado warnings, again, being an observed large and extremely dangerous tornado over the east side of Troy. This is hitting the Butter and Egg Adventures, New Life Christian Academy, Stone Cold and Heating and Cooling have probably just taken a direct hit from this tornado. It is now going to be going towards the Anoch Missionary Baptist Church. Also heading in the direction of Banks, Hussey Cemetery, and Banks, Alabama. Are going to be at the track of this. There's also some farms that are up in front of this as well. Oh, again, we have a significant tornado in progress right now. Going northeast towards Corinth. A report from a storm chaser, Joshua Evans, is reporting that there is a large wedge tornado on the east side of Troy. That's what he is reporting. There is a large wedge tornado with this storm moving northeast. Again, the velocities on this are off the charts. We are talking about a very strong, probably, again, an intense tornado moving to the northeast. The main locations currently included in this tornado warning include Troy, Banks, Linwood, Mount Andrew, Comer, Midway, Perot, and Inverness in southeastern Alabama. It just hit the east side of Troy, and I think it may have missed by inches the Forest Acres mobile home park, but we're not entirely sure. So if you know any friends or family there, make sure that they're okay. Still a big-time tornado about across Route 29, eventually going towards Sandfield over the next 3 to 4 minutes. If this storm does continue to produce a threat for a tornado, it will eventually go in the direction of Columbus and just south of there in southeast parts of Alabama. And we are actually seeing now in the reflectivity a debris ball. So there is now a debris ball being picked up east of Troy. We have a full-blown debris ball being picked up by radar. The gate-to-gate shear on this is at least 90 versus 65. So this is probably, again, at least an intense tornado that's happening. Which would be like EF3 plus. The radars are just updated, and I mean, again, this is a huge tornado. I don't think the wedge tornado report is a lie. We have a significant tornado right now over Highway 223. Not a good situation. Sandfield, Corinth, Perot, Jamback, Star Hill, Midway, Alabama. You've got to get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom. It's probably the time right now to take off that, mattress off your bed and bring it with you if you're out in front of this and you have a few minutes. If you're in the other tornado warning, you have a couple of minutes, but you should be getting to your safe place as soon as possible. I would not be waiting any more than like 60 seconds unless it's an emergency. You should be getting there now. Like Corinth and northeastward. We got a big tornado that's heading right at you. If you have a helmet, it's a good idea to put that on. Have closed-toe shoes with you as well. You have closed-toe shoes with you. That's going to be one thing that'll help if there's if there's tornado damage in your area. Still a big-time tornado right now in southeast Alabama. Catalpa is currently about to be hit by this tornado. Another kind of rural area going up towards Sandfield. And just north of Banks right now. The Holly Springs Missionary Baptist Church is about to be hit by this. and there's also a cemetery there, and there are a few farms and homes that are in this area, right up near this intersection south of Sandfield. This is moments ago in Troy on one of the Alabama traffic cams from Live Cam Chaser. This was just moments ago in Troy. The winds we're definitely ripping here. You can see the wind going right to left a few moments ago. So, crazy stuff. The velocities are just so strong on this. This, again, could be a long track tornado. Unless something gets out in front of this and weakens this storm out, I don't see this ending anytime soon. I mean, this rotation, again, is very strong. The greens and blues are winds going towards the radar, and the yellows and reds are winds going away from the radar. Also, we have a storm back over south of Franklin that has a little bit of rotation. Not super concerned about that, though, right now. Back up near Roanoke in eastern Alabama, the tornado here has been weakening. But Wadley and Roanoke, you should be in your safe places. That storm already produced a large tornado at one point. And then for those in and around Atlanta, we have damaging winds and a low tornado risk north of Roswell. And then west of
This is an emergency
Atlanta,
alert.
we have a
large and
line of
strong
storms producing
tornado is
significant
on the
damaging
ground.
winds around
Seek
60
shelter
miles per
immediately.
hour, and there is a low tornado risk with that activity. The PDF's tornado warning does continue back over in just east of Troy. We still have a large tornado in progress, and probably an intense tornado. And the gate-to-gate shear is over 150 miles per hour, which means that this is likely an intense tornado, EF3 plus intensity, that's moving towards Pirote, Jamback, Star Hill, tracking towards Mount Andrew, Midway, 3-Notch, Comer, and Enon. This might not end anytime soon, guys. Like, this is still a monster tornado right now in northeastern Pike County in Alabama. The gate-to-gate shear is still very high. I mean, we're talking near 160 miles per hour. It's a very serious situation right now. Northwest of Dothan, Alabama, near Midway and south of Union Springs. Once again, if you have any friends or family that are being impacted by severe weather or in the path of these storms, get the word out there, share the stream. Liking the stream as well probably gets us out to more people. So that's free to do. You can just hit the like button. Probably helps get this out to more people as well. The velocities are just crazy, though, on this tornado. Got a new velocity scan coming in right now. Where's a safe place to get to in a trailer park? If you have a local storm shelter, if you need to get to a sturdy structure, you should kind of figure this stuff out ahead of time. If not, you have to get into a ditch. Like, that's kind of like the last resort. Because mobile homes do not stand a chance with a tornado like this. They just don't. When we have a strong or intense or violent tornado, they just don't stand a chance. There's hardly any mobile homes that ever get through something like this. There is a little bit of rotation as well, a little bit further off to the north. This is east of Montgomery. We are starting to see a little bit of rotation in this line, moving towards Auburn and Tuskegee. That'll be something to watch out for. Again, the Roanoke area, we are still dealing with a tornado warning there. Goes for 39 more minutes. The Atlanta Metro, mainly a wind risk as of right now. Still a low chance for a tornado. Again, if there's a tornado warning, we'll be here for you. And then, again, we still have a line of storms further off to the north in Tennessee and Kentucky. Mainly a wind risk from Livingston and Cookeville back into southern Kentucky. Not really looking at any severe weather right now. It's mostly just gusty winds. And we still have a tornado that's in progress, again, near Sandfield and Cornet. This is a large and extremely dangerous tornado if you're just tuning in southeastern Alabama. This is near Perote, Jamback, Star Hill. It is moving towards Mount Andrew as of right now, and Midway. So you need to be in your storm shelter, closet, bathroom, basement, whatever it is, out in front of this. If you're in a mobile home, go to a sturdy structure or get into a ditch. The Storm Prediction Center has just released a new mesoscale discussion. Long track supercells will continue to pose a significant tornado risk into far western Georgia over the next few hours. So this is between now and about 1:15 a.m. This storm is not far. Somebody's asking in the chat. This storm is not far off from being a storm like we saw earlier. It's very similar. I'd say, honestly, it's a lot more disorganized than the storms earlier. At least it's more semi-discrete, so it's not really its own storm, but it's not far off from what we had earlier. And intensity-wise, this is a more than likely, again, an intense tornado. Latest CC drop in terms of the debris signature is not nearly as prevalent, but again, there is still a tornado in progress. Smud Eye is about to be hit by this in about 3 to 4 minutes. Ox Level, Pine Grove, and Midway, you're all in the path of this here over the next 15 minutes. There is reportedly major tornado damage being reported there in Troy, Alabama. So Troy, on the northeast side of Troy, there's significant tornado damage being reported. You know, the other dangerous part about this tornado, too, is it's just completely wrapped in rain. It makes it even more dangerous. Rain-wrapped tornado. And it's nighttime. So it's you know, well, it's almost midnight here in Alabama. Technically, it's still 11:25 p.m. in Alabama. Georgia is well past midnight now, but not a good situation. Sounds like, from what I'm hearing, the tornado cored an entire neighborhood at its peak strength, which essentially means that we may have just seen a neighborhood, like, almost leveled from this tornado back over on the northeast side of Troy at its peak strength. No problem, Spencer. Appreciate you tuning in. Dangerous at night because you can't see anything coming? Well, yeah, if you're driving on the roadways and you have no idea that there's a tornado warning, this is extremely dangerous. By the way, our only tornado warnings right now are on this storm south of Union Springs for right now. That could change at any time, but... And we're now down to 1. I thought, like, I wasn't going to say it, but I honestly thought we could have seen a tornado emergency from that storm. But, I mean, a PDS tornado, whatever tornado warning it is, you should heed every warning the same. It doesn't matter what the level of the tornado warning is. You should be taking every tornado the same, because a tornado like this could happen. You could also see an EF0. You could even see no tornado. But every tornado warning matters. Every tornado warning matters. As of the last couple of scans, there's some good news. The tornado has been weakening. It has been losing its intensity, but we still have strong rotation, and there is a chance that this storm does recycle as it moves northeast towards Pittsview and Midway. So you want to continue to stay in your safe place if you are in this tornado warning. But good news is that the tornado warning has been weakening some and is not nearly as intense as before. But again, continue to stay in your safe place if you are in the tornado warning. We should have probably issued a tornado emergency for the mobile home area. I don't think we had a... I don't know what it dropped, but I think it actually dropped more up here to the northeast. So I don't think, like, the south side of Troy actually saw the tornado. I think it actually started a little bit further northeast. But no matter what, if you have any friends or family that live in Troy or any of this area, just check in on them here in southeast Alabama. Make sure that they're doing okay, because we just had a big tornado. I mean, this was probably, at the minimum, intense of a tornado moving through Banks on the east side of Troy. But again, keep in mind that it might have even began a little bit further to the west, down near the south side of Troy, near that mobile home park, which, if this ended up hitting that mobile home park, that is really bad, because mobile home parks cannot stand a chance against a tornado like this. But once again, PDF's tornado warning does continue, even though the tornado does appear as if it is weakening and occluding. And it sounds like Brad Arnold, the storm chaser in the area, has just encountered leveled trees and is now stuck. Continuing to hear more and more damage reports out of this tornado in its very early stages. But unfortunately, we just saw a very significant tornado.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado
Roll
is on the
through
ground. Seek shelter immediately.
Southeastern Alabama. The tornado warning has been downgraded. It is back down to a confirmed tornado warning, no longer a observed. Or sorry, no longer a PDS tornado warning, but it is still a confirmed tornado warning. They're north of Dothan in southeastern Alabama. There are actively no severe thunderstorm warnings around Atlanta, Georgia. The second line of storms is struggling a little bit. Damaging winds still going to be a possibility, though, if these storms can intensify again. Low tornado risk as that moves through Atlanta. Our most significant tornado risk over the next couple hours, mainly going to be down here in the Florida Panhandle and back into southeast Alabama and western and southwestern Georgia. So make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Guys, I don't know what's going on with Brad. I don't have a direct communication with Brad. So I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully he's okay. I'm guessing he's probably helping with search and rescue. We have never used Brad on our channel before. But I think he's just helping out with search and rescue and stuff like that. But there are destroyed homes currently back over east of Troy. There are flipped mobile homes. I really hope everybody's all right over there. Like, there are mobile homes on the east side of Troy as well. And mobile homes, again, don't stand a chance with tornadoes. And it looks like they're all leveled from what I'm seeing. So, this is pretty terrible. You know, I don't want to compare this to the Rolling Fork tornado, but like, it's late at night, and there are mobile homes here, and unfortunately, this tornado hit a not, I don't think it really be, again, the most significant tornado damage happened, I think, just east of Troy, but even then, this rural area does have mobile homes and stuff like that. And unfortunately, from the sounds of it, this was a significant tornado. There is still rotation, by the way. The storm is attempting to recycle as of right now. We may see a new tornado drop, but at this point, it's going to be a fully rain-wrapped tornado if it does try to drop, heading in the direction of Midway, Alabama. And Brad is now reporting that there's a trailer that has been flipped and essentially leveled structures in southeast Alabama. What radar site is that, PGA? Is that the northern one? I had some rotation further north of the storm. Still watching for a tornado risk. Back over here to the west. So right now, back out to the west of this tornado warning, there is a line of storms near Auburn and Tuskegee that is moving east. And as of now, this is mainly producing damaging winds. There is still a chance for an isolated tornado in this activity as it continues to push east. So just a heads up, we are watching that threat as well, a little bit further north there in Alabama. Tornado warning has now been downgraded. It is no longer confirmed. It is down to radar indicated. So no longer anything confirmed here. We are back down to now a radar indicated tornado after a destructive tornado ripped through the east side of Troy and Banks. Brad is now, he's on with 911 relaying damage. He's also saying mobile homes are completely flipped and destroyed. There are cars in driveways and he cannot find anyone. So he's assuming the worst. Just east of Troy. You know, we were talking about this storm probably over an hour before it even happened, but it just gives you an idea. I mean, like, today could have been way worse. It's already been terrible, but it could have literally been way worse with today's environment. So, unfortunately, we just had another big tornado, and this one unfortunately happened at nighttime where there were likely people sleeping there on the east side of Troy. Really, really, really sad stuff. All right. Power is going in and out in Atlanta. Once again, good reminder as well, if you are in the track of severe weather, have flashlights ready to go, charge your phones up, all that sort of stuff, as there is a chance for power outages tonight. We do have two areas of rotation that are just to the east of the radar site near Tallahassee. Area of rotation that is going towards Auburn, Alabama. And we have another one also just east of the radar site, also going more in the direction of Auburn. So a couple new areas of rotation embedded in the line of thunderstorms, and this is currently moving east and northeast. So if you're in the Auburn area, make sure that you are staying weather aware. Tornado risk is still in play there near Auburn. All right, well, we have a second. Let me get some stuff here. Thank you to Brian for the $10 super chat. Also, shout out to Apple for the super chat. How's Interstate 85 looking between Montgomery and Atlanta? I have no... Or Montgomery and Atlanta. If you're traveling on the backside of this entire line, you're just going to be running into that damaging wind risk once you get closer to, like, the border. So, I would kind of, like... I would pace yourself if you don't want to try to race out in front of this line. Because for the record, these storms are moving northeast at about 50, 60 miles per hour. They're very fast moving. So, thank you, Bob, for becoming a member. What is the line between PDS and tornado emergency? There's a certain criteria that needs to be met. And for whatever reason, I feel like they are sometimes underutilized. Like, I feel like today we could have probably had at least another tornado emergency or two. I honestly think this tornado could have been that too. But they are underutilized, in my opinion. Also, a huge shout out to No with the $50 super chat. Thanks, Max, and stand up more often. Yeah, I do. I know. We have a standing desk at the other studio, but I'm never there. So, by the way, huge shout out to Baseball with the $200 super chat. You're way too kind. Put some W's in the chat for Baseball. Sorry, I couldn't get to notifications sooner. We've had this tornado ongoing for like an hour now. I do really appreciate the generosity. Shout out to Natalie with the $15 Venmo, and as well as Thomas. Thomas said, great forecasting in Mississippi. My property got hit, but I had 15 minutes heads up due to your channel. I'm glad I could help. And thank you for the generous Venmo. And then also thank you, Jackie, for the Venmo donation. We appreciate the generosity. Hope you get lots of sleep and rest tomorrow. Trust me, I will. You know, at this rate, there's very little chance that we're going live tomorrow. We're really focused on what's happening tonight. Tomorrow, I don't think will even be as significant as today. We can still see a couple tornadoes, but tomorrow does not look too crazy to me right now. We may have a tornado trying to drop right now, south of Tuskegee. We have a little hook right here, moving towards Route 29. Little area of rotation there. I might be trying to drop a tornado, moving east-northeast. No tornado warning on that right now, but could be tornado warned. And then tornado warning again still continues back down near Midway. Highway 51. This is the one that just produced the large tornado that hit the east side of Troy. You need to stay in your safe place if you're on Midway, just in case this drops another tornado. Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. How does it look west of Chattanooga? Not really expecting any more severe weather at this point in Tennessee. Like, there's a very low chance we get damaging winds or a very brief spin up. But it's becoming pretty disorganized. It's mostly just gusty winds and some lightning and some small hail. I need a beer in my fridge. I'm gonna need, like, multiple beers after 2 straight days of coverage. I don't even drink beer, you know? We've been live for 26 hours in the last, like, 34 hours, just for the record. We started our live stream yesterday at, like, 3 p.m., I think, or so. Maybe 2 p.m., or it might have been earlier than that. And we ran for 12 hours. And then today we've been live now for consecutive almost 14 hours. It's insane. Hey, Chelsea, for becoming a member. Hey, Krista, also for the $20 Venmo. Thanks for helping us keep us safe in Atlanta tonight. I'm glad I could help. Appreciate you tuning in. Also, thank you to Steve-O for the very generous $50 super chat. Thanks for the coverage as always. Can we get your thoughts on the Pensacola area and the Panhandle? Yeah, Pensacola, anywhere in the Panhandle at this point, I'm not expecting much severe weather. The convection down here is really crappy. I mean, there's really not much even here that's organized. So, at this point, not too concerned about you guys. Just have ways to receive alerts. And thank you, Garrett, for the $50 super chat. Same question. And same answer. Anywhere really from Panama City to Pensacola, it's a very low risk of any sort of tornadic activity here. Crystal Falls on here. Crystal Falls. that bottom right. Also, thank you, Jeff, for becoming a member. Once again, we still have actively one tornado warning that is near Midway, Alabama. Rotation has broadened out a lot over the last several minutes. Still could become tornadic again, so don't let your guard down near Pittsview and north of Eufaula. And we are still watching a line of storms moving through Auburn and Tuskegee that is going to produce the potential for damaging winds and maybe even a brief tornado as this moves east. Damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour are currently possible. Shout out to Paul with the $10 PayPal donation. Also, thank you, MC, for the $5 Venmo. I think the tornado risk across Georgia is on the low side. I still think the greatest tornado threat over the next few hours will be in this area. So mainly south of Atlanta. But I still wouldn't rule out a brief spin up back up near Atlanta. Thank you, Bunny, for the super chat, and Juan. And Jamie for becoming a member. Is Ohio getting anything tonight? No. So, I just want to throw this out there, by the way. Our thumbnail is accounting for the entire severe weather risk today. So, if you're clicking on this and seeing you in the thumbnail, I'm just letting you know that you are actually technically, or you are at least at one point today, technically in a risk of severe weather. At this point, this is the risk outline, which, technically Ohio is in the risk, which is very interesting to me. But, I don't expect really much up here in Ohio. I think we're done up there. Really, the only risk left is mainly down here in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and also back over into Western, South, and North Carolina. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in a moment. For whatever reason, my AC was not on. I was about to say it was getting very hot in here. Fun fact, running all of these computers with no AC running for a 14-hour stream, it increased the temperature by like 8 degrees. I didn't know that was possible. Didn't realize my entire stream was without an AC on. Marcus asks, what about Columbus, Georgia? I don't know where Columbus is. So back up in Columbus, Georgia. Currently, the threat is going to be within the next hour and 50 minutes, or hour and 30 minutes or so. I'd say mainly we're watching for this discrete supercell going in your area, but we'll also be watching that line. Main threat, again, damaging winds. We could still see a tornado, though, as this moves east. Shout out to Rachel and Mandy for the $10 Venmo donations. Watched from Ashland City, Tennessee today, and now watching Atlanta for my family. Now, the good news so far is that Atlanta has not been anything too crazy. It's been mostly wind, and there's no severe warnings right now around Atlanta, but we'll still be here in case something pops up in the Atlanta area. Mostly a wind threat. That must have been unpleasant. Yes, Hayden, it was. Oh, also shout out to Stephanie with the $10 Venmo. And also shout out to Bo, Suzanne, and Jeff for all picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Appreciate the support. Oh, sorry guys. We no longer have a confirmed tornado. It's radar indicated. I don't know why it was on that screen. We're also going to get something that's automated here in the future that updates that automatically, because sometimes it glitches out. But nothing confirmed as of right now. This storm hasn't had a tornado probably in about 20-ish minutes, maybe a bit longer. Not really as intense of a storm at this point. But could still produce a tornado as it moves east. I'm honestly kind of surprised we didn't get... I mean, this storm near Tuskegee, if there wasn't so much convection, we'd probably get a quick tornado out of this, but nothing's happened yet. Still got a huge area of wind moving through Auburn, Opelika over the next several minutes. Significant damaging winds currently heading in the direction of the Georgia and Alabama border. Upwards of 70 miles per hour moving west to east. Shout out to Zach as well and Trevor for the Venmo donations. Tuskegee, thank you. Sorry, I keep seeing Tuskegee for some reason. Tuskegee, thank you. Little update on all the power outages that we currently have. As a reminder, make sure you have flashlights ready to go for tonight in case you do end up losing power. Power outages are still pretty significant. We have about 80,000 without power in Georgia, almost 60,000 without power in Alabama. Mississippi's at 11,000 without power. Tennessee's at 23,000. Missouri's at 68,000. Illinois at 10,000. And Michigan is climbing to almost 45,000 people that are currently without power. So quite a bit of power outages that are spreading across the southeast. Make sure that you have lots and lots of ways to receive warnings overnight in case you do go to bed, and also make sure they have flashlights next to you, next to your bed. Probably one of the best ideas for tonight. Hey, Melissa for the super chat. He's so cute trying to pronounce the city names. Thanks. Shout out to Kevin with the $100 Venmo. Put some W's in the chat for Kevin. Also Sandy, thank you. And Lucy. Any update on the Randolph County, Alabama tornado warning? There is no tornado warning in Randolph County. The only one we have is in Bullock and Barber counties. Thank you, Heather, as well. And Liz for the Venmo donations. You guys are way too kind. Appreciate all the generosity. Here's the deal, says there was a tornado in LA the other day. All good here in San Diego. There was a tornado confirmed, I think, just west of Los Angeles. Pretty sure it was an EF0, 85 mile per hour winds, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, there was a tornado. Thank you, Doug, for becoming a member. And thank you, Trust Me, bro, for the super chat. I'm in an RV in Newton County, Georgia. Can I go to sleep? Now, let me see where Newton County is first. It's back over near Covington. I would still have ways to receive alerts. You could still see severe weather overnight, so it's very possible. I would at least have ways to receive alerts, and whenever you get that warning, you need to go you need to know where you're going. So tornado shelter, that's, you know, driving away to a sturdy structure or getting into a ditch. You need to have that idea in mind before you go to bed in case you are under some sort of tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning. Not trying to scare you, just have that plan. So a lot of people struggle to plan when it comes to severe weather. So I'm just trying to throw that out there. You know, make sure that you're planning ahead of time. Your idea if you are going to bed. Also, rotation is tightening a little bit right now near Little, Texas, southeast of Tuskegee. Moving towards Society Hill. Might see a brief spin up there, but more than anything, just still talking about mainly a damaging wind risk across this line in eastern Alabama. Thank you, Trina, Michael, Aaron, Adria, Suzanne for the Venmo donations, and Ethan. Thank you, Jenny, for the PayPal, and also thank you, Happy, for the super chat. Thank you for your quality weather coverage. Good luck on your test. Thanks. Cannot wait. It's the most exciting part of my week. Go get some Culver's. Culver's is closed at 1 a.m. So, not even an option. Thank you, Beth, for becoming a member. Is the tornado threat lowered? It's lower. I mean, it's been lower for hours now. We just had that one storm pop off, and I mean, we could still see another one down here in southeastern Alabama pop off here soon. So the tornado threat is going to continue. I don't think it's really going anywhere, but it's obviously lower than what we had earlier today. Thank you, Caroline, also for the Venmo, and Jenna keeping us up to date, staying live even when the new channels weren't, and our news channels weren't, and keeping us safe. We appreciate it. I'm glad I could help. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you, Lisa, for a $100 Venmo. You guys are you're crazy. Thank you, Lisa, for the $100 Venmo. Thank you for accurate details last night in Rolla, Missouri. Well, I'm glad I could help, and I appreciate the generosity. Centralville, Georgia is being slammed right now. Do you see anything? It's all strong storms right now in Georgia. There's nothing severe up here. So I don't really see much other than just some gusty winds. There's a little bit of rotation over Cartersville. We actually have a camera bottom left of your screen in Cartersville. It gives you an idea of what's actually happening outside. But it's mostly just some gusty winds. Again, a low-end tornado risk. But I would say the tornado potential here is very low. Our next SPC Outlook will be out here very soon, by the way. I think it comes out in like 10 minutes for tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, it's in 10 minutes or it's at 2 a.m. I can't remember. It might be 2 a.m. now. It might be another hour from now. Thank you, Aaron, for the Venmo. Aaron says it completely obliterated parts of Bakersfield, Missouri. So many without power and homes. Unfortunately, Bakersfield got hit by an EF3 tornado. So they have already preliminary made that an EF3 tornado back up in Bakersfield, Missouri. Pulling up some of the information here as well. None of the tornadoes down there in southern Missouri have even been added to the damage assessment toolkit, but from the sounds of it, we at least had 25 tornadoes yesterday, and we probably had around the same today. I think we had more tornadoes, though, yesterday compared to today. But the ones that we had today were very intense, for the most part. Thank you, Kim, Jessica, Nick, all for the Venmo donations, and as well as Jacob. Thank you, VL, or Violet, for becoming a member. Thank you, Clever, for the super chat. Excellent coverage. Thank you for the updates, man. I appreciate it, and appreciate you tuning in. We try our best here. You know, we're going to be adding a lot more upgrades here in the near future for our live coverages, too. We'll have another person that's going to be able to help relay reports and stuff like that. Hopefully, in the next couple of months, we will have more upgrades to the studio. We're going to have another computer rig coming in soon as well, so we can do even more stuff with our studio setup and being able to provide you even better weather coverage than we already do. And yeah, a lot of good stuff is coming. Have you sent out signed hats? Not all of them. There's only been about 80 that have been sent out, but we're gonna have a lot more sent out here over the next week or so. Most of the signed hats will be shipped out like no later than March 23rd or so. Huge shout out to Ryan with the $200 super chat. I'm an onion farmer in Colorado. Thank you for all you do. That's an interesting onion farmer. Huh. Interesting. Appreciate the super chat. I've never met an onion farmer before. Thank you, Samuel, and as well as Allison for the Venmo donations. Anywhere around Atlanta right now, again, it's mostly wind. Not really much of a tornado risk up there at this point. The tornado risk, again, is much lower. There's still a chance, though, for a few tornadoes overnight. We're going to be live here for a little bit in case something does happen. But the Atlanta metro area, again, is mainly gusty winds at this point. And some lightning, some heavy rainfall, maybe some localized flooding. But other than that, we're not really talking about any sort of tornadoes, it looks like, for now. That could change, so just have ways to receive warnings. I don't really see much, though. Every storm is kind of just messy up there. But back down in southeast Alabama and western Georgia, there's a lot more that could happen down here, so... This tornado warning will be ending in 20 minutes unless it's canceled, which honestly at this point could end up being canceled for Midway in Alabama. We'll stay zoomed out for now. Thank you, Jeremy, also for picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. You should start a podcast. Your voice is very calming. You know, my brother wants me to start a podcast, believe it or not. He wants me to start a podcast. I don't know what I would even talk about. Like, he wants to do a podcast with me. I don't know how that would work. I don't know what I would even be. I don't know what I'd talk about. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but. Hey, Justin, for the super chat. Max Velocity podcast would be epic. I'd tune in. I don't know what I would talk about. I have no clue. If anybody has ideas, let me know. Thank you, Tanya, for the super chat. Where's the Venmo? It's in the description. If you guys want to follow us on social media, by the way, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those platforms, it's linked in the description down below. Highly recommend you follow us on other platforms. We post a ton of updates on those platforms regarding severe weather events, and we do a lot of updates when it comes to and just in general when it comes to weather events. Like, we have a lot of rapid fire updates that aren't always included in our videos, so make sure to follow me on Twitter, make sure to follow me on Facebook. It's at MaxVelocityWX. And if you want to join our weather community over on Discord, the link is down in the description there. We do have a little weather community over there on Discord. You can talk to other people that are interested in weather. Definitely recommend you check that out. Got Max on Facebook. There you go. We are on Facebook. We do have rotation beginning to ramp up a little bit just north of the Opelika area. So a little bit of rotation right now near Route 431 moving towards Lanett and Valley with this line of storms. So once again, this is kind of moving off to the northeast. Not really too concerned about this as of right now. Just something to watch for as this continues to move northeast towards Lanett and Valley. Thank you, Landon, Renee, and as well as MC, all for the Venmo donations. Hope you're not bored. You're saving lives here. I'm never bored in live streams. The only time that I'm actually bored is when we have like nothing happening and there's nothing to talk about. That's the only time that I'm bored. Otherwise, like, I mean, the last 2 days, like, we've been live 26 total hours now in just the last 36 hours.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
You know, there's a lot to talk about when we have tornado outbreaks happening. We do have a new tornado warning for Chambers County in Alabama, and this is the storm we were literally just talking about, back over near Lanett and Valley. Rotation is intensifying, and it's moving towards Highway 50. Lanett and Valley are on the track of this. Again, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building if you are in this tornado warning. We'll give another radar scan, but the strongest rotation, again, just north of Interstate 85. It is going to be tracking towards Lanett and Valley. It's currently near Liberty Crossroads, Tuckersburg, and Cuseta. It's a pretty rural area up until the border, where there's a lot more people there in West Point and Lanett. So if you have any friends or family there in West Point or Lanett in eastern Alabama, make sure that you are getting to your safe place. I feel like the National Weather Service is watching. They come out at like 30 seconds after we mention them. I don't know. You never know. I mean, I don't really care if they watch. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing if, I mean, the National Weather Service, I think it's a great thing if they're watching these streams or, you know, watching news channels and stuff. I think it honestly helps get the warnings out even faster if there's something that somebody's spotting. Because the rotation is definitely strengthening here over the north side of Tuckersburg. Thank you, Adam, Alexandria, Jarrett, for the Venmo donations as well. Appreciate the generosity. Thinking the same thing, that you have an awesome voice. I appreciate that. Max on the mic could cover tornado myths, specific legendary outbreaks, and have storm chasers on as guests. Not a bad idea. We now officially have one death that has been reported in Troy, Alabama. So the tornado that we were just covering about an hour ago, within the last hour, at least one death is being reported in Troy, Alabama from that tornado. And I'm just going to say, like, I unfortunately think there's going to be more from where that came from. Like, the amount of places that are mobile homes over there in Troy. There's a lot of mobile homes, and that number is probably only going to keep climbing. We've at least had over 30 deaths reported from this entire tornado outbreak over the last 48 hours, not just from the tornadoes, but also the dust storm as well. So it's been pretty terrible. Thank you, Ryan, for the very generous super chat. Talk about how much hail will dent my onions on your podcast. the onion farm's gonna take a hit. We are going to be, by the way, I haven't really talked much about this, but in the future, we are planning on making a nonprofit with our channel and being able to help people that have been impacted by storms. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do it yet, but we are planning on doing something along those lines, and I think it'll be coming very in handy for, you know, for outbreaks like this where there are just so many people that their lives have been changed and they need help. So we are planning on doing that in the future. I have not been able to do that because I literally have no time being in college. But once I'm done college, I'm hoping I can focus some time in making something like that as we go into the summer and the fall when there's a lot more time to do stuff like that. We now have a tornado in progress north of Tuckersburg. There is now a tornado debris signature popping up north of Tuckersburg. So we yet again have another tornado. It's heading right towards Lanett in eastern Alabama. Once again, get to your safe place, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building. This is yet again another tornado that has just dropped, going towards Lanett and Valley. The Venmo is in the description. Is Panama City Beach, Florida in any danger? Not really much danger there along the Gulf Coast tonight. I think any tornado threat is mostly going to be far north of the Gulf Coast. We now have an upgrade to the severe thunderstorm warning in eastern Alabama. This is now up to a considerable risk of damaging winds of 70 miles per hour. So this line of thunderstorms bowing out here across eastern Alabama, producing 70 mile per hour damaging winds. It is going to be heading into western Alabama again, or western Georgia here soon, and eastern Alabama. I've been watching for 13 hours. We've been live for 14. Next time you got to watch for that other hour. No, I'm kidding. That's crazy, though. I'm not going to lie. That is a lot of time.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
I do want to put a clarifying point out there. I've seen a couple of people asking about this. The Tallahassee area, the NOAA weather radios are having issues. I don't know if that's still a thing. It was a thing earlier today. I don't know if somebody can double check for me, but if you are in the National Weather Service's Tallahassee region, that does not mean you will not get tornado warning alerts. If you have like a phone or something like that, it just means that the weather radios are having issues. But I don't know if that's still an issue. So if you have a weather radio, it might not be an issue anymore. The National Weather Service of Tallahassee would have that on their Twitter page. Tornado warning has obviously been upgraded. It's confirmed here for Chambers County, Alabama. This is again near the border of Georgia, going towards Lanett, just north of I-85, west of Valley. Tornado is again just north there of Cusseta. It'll be approaching Lanett over the next 6 to 7 minutes, and just south of Old Atkinson Crossing. So once again, get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. But tornado here is not, I mean, this is like not an environment where we're expecting a long-tracked tornado up here. So that one's probably going to be a very quick one. But we definitely could see another tornado try to drop here near Columbus, or even back over near Pittsview. So we're going to keep a close eye on those storms. And honestly, Columbus, definitely be ready for at least significant damaging winds, but definitely a possibility for a tornado out of this as it moves east-northeast. Getting reports of some thunder and rain in western North Carolina. We've at least had 4 strong tornadoes confirmed from yesterday's storms. Bakersfield, Missouri was an EF3 tornado. That was a high-end EF3. We had Villa Ridge, Missouri as an EF2. Arnold, Missouri was an EF2. And Cave City was an EF3 in Arkansas. Sounds like the weather radios are still having issues there in the National Weather Service Tallahassee area. But that does not affect the warnings going through your phone. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta figure out. My AC, I don't think, is running still. It's like a cooking 85 degrees, I swear. It's so warm, and the AC is just not working. The AC might be chocked. It might be broken. I have not felt cold air in like 9 or 10 hours. Thank you, William, for that. Good history. There have at least been 9 confirmed strong tornadoes so far. Oh, I missed the rest. There's at least been 9 EF2 plus tornadoes that have been confirmed. Since yesterday and today. We won't sleep until you announce a podcast, guys. I'm not announcing any podcast tonight. I have no clue what I would even talk about. By the way, tornado warning back down here in southeastern Alabama has been let to expire. That happened a little while ago, but just an update. The only storm again actively producing something is over near Lanett. Dave Smith for the super chat. I'm not into gambling. I'm not doing a gambling podcast. How long is the tornado warning? Goes until 12:30 Central Time, which we're about to go into Eastern Time with these storms and going into Georgia. Going into Eastern Time here soon, into Georgia. Shout out to Auburn with the $25 Venmo. Appreciate that. Thank you, Michelle, as well. And as well as Adam. I appreciate that. Thank you, Bearded, for the super chat. Or, sorry, for the Venmo. Lisa as well. Also, tornado warning was just downgraded. It is back down to radar indicated. No longer confirmed. That tornado occluded pretty quickly. It'll probably end up being canceled not too far from now. That rotation was weakening quite a bit. But still stay in your safe place if you're in Lanett. They might actually, depending on the rotation, they might even issue a warning into Georgia near LaGrange. So LaGrange is the next area in the track of this. In addition to that, they have just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for LaGrange and Pine Mountain near Columbus for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, and there is a tornado possible label on this. Thank you, Melissa, for the very generous $50 Venmo as well. Sandy as well for the very generous Venmo. Kyle, Adam, appreciate your generosity, guys. You guys are way too kind tonight. It's been a long last 26 hours, and again, hopefully I've been able to help you guys with severe weather coverage and all that good stuff. Been a very, very long last 26 hours. I am looking forward to getting some good sleep after this coverage. And some of you might think, well, you've been live for 14 hours. That's nothing. But I mean, literally sitting here, relaying a lot of information, using your voice a ton. It's quite extensive. John, I might legitimately be screwed. My AC is literally not working. It's still not working. My AC's gone. I think we're cooked. It's currently 80 degrees in my room here. 80 degrees. I'm gonna check one more time. I'm gonna try one more thing, but I might be shocked. Hey guys, we might need an AC replacement. I'm gonna be sweating here soon. It's like 80. I don't know what happened. I've turned down the AC to like 70 degrees and it's just not running. We're cooked. It's over. Open a window? I don't feel like opening a window and having neighbors hear me. Yeah, I just turned on my AC and I don't hear anything. Oh? I hear it. Come on, please cook. Don't cook in the other direction, though. Please just... I don't think it's doing it. I can't tell, though, yet. Also, we do have a area of rotation near Columbus that is intensifying. We might get a tornado warning here shortly for Columbus, along the Georgia and Louisiana border. I think it might be running, guys. We might not be cooked. I can't tell yet. I don't feel anything, but it sounds louder than before. Can't feel anything yet. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think we're getting our AC back. I think it's gone. Thank you, Molly, for the Venmo. You guys don't have to donate for my AC. It's fine. Hey, James, also for the Venmo saying hi from quiet Illinois. That's a crazy statement after yesterday. It was not quiet at all in Illinois. Yeah, our AC, the AC's cooked. I'm gonna try one more thing, but yeah, we're cooked. It's gonna be a fan night. AC's gone. Thank you, Renee, for the Venmo as well. For the new AC, drink some water. 14 hours of talking is a long time. It sure is. 14 consecutive hours. By the way, this is our second longest live stream of all time consecutively. We're approaching 14 and a half hours. The only one that was longer than that was the high risk that happened. I think it was a high risk that happened in Oklahoma and Arkansas, where we saw several tornadoes. That stream ended up being about 15 and a half hours. Thank you, Low Carb, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Shout out to Robert, Mark, and Melanie with the PayPal donations as well. See if your AC breaker has been tripped. Guys, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know where my breaker box would be. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that means. I'm not very intelligent when it comes to the home renovating space. Don't lose your voice again? You'd be surprised. I've been talking for 26 hours. In the last 34 hours, I barely feel anything, which is kind of shocking. I am cooked, guys. I already said this. I am cooked in many ways, including my temperature in here, and also not having any knowledge of anything, so. It's usually in my garage. Excuse me? Hey, Babs, for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. Clip farming? This is not clip farming. It's literally a real life situation. I've never had my AC break before. I don't clip farm. I don't even post my clips anywhere. Like, these live streams are literally just live streams. There's no clips here. I literally, my AC is not working. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like 80 degrees right now, and the temperature keeps increasing. I'm surprised I'm just realizing this. This has to have been an issue for like 4 or 5 hours. Hey, you, Widow, appreciate that from Tennessee. How's Crossville, Tennessee looking? Currently without power. Crossville had some crazy storms in the vicinity earlier, but just some strong storms. Nothing really severe out here. Again, I don't think Tennessee's going to have anything severe tonight. The threat is definitely near zero. Kind of AC? I don't know. It's an AC. I have no knowledge of what I have at all. Check your breaker. Guys, I don't know where my breaker is. I don't know what that means. Talking about my car brakes or something? Like, I have literally no clue what a breaker is. Thank you, Low Carb, for the 10 gifted members. W's in the chat for Low Carb. Appreciate the generosity. Yeah, I'm not a handyman, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Huge shout out to Christy with a $50 Venmo. Appreciate that from Opelika, Alabama. Hopefully you stayed safe tonight. Guys, you guys keep saying circuit breaker. I don't know what that means. It's usually a silver or gray box. That doesn't help. You know how many boxes I have in a single room with just like hats and stuff? I have to sign like 500 hats, and for many of you, you've ordered, some of you may have ordered a signed hat. We're doing signed hats for 1 million subscribers, and I have ordered 500 hats. I have to sign 500 hats. The amount of hat boxes that I have is astronomical. It takes up so much space. And I don't know why I haven't thrown them out yet, but I haven't. It's in the wall? It's in the wall. Is it hiding in the wall? Oh, man. I guess everybody knows in the chat. I guess I'm the only one that doesn't know what a circuit breaker is, or a breaker in general. Are you trolling us? Guys, I'm not trolling. I don't know what you're talking about. I literally don't. I've never been this dumbfounded. I'm not gonna lie. I've heard of a breaker before, don't get me wrong. I just don't know what it does or is. I'm not a handyman. I do weather. I'm a weather person. This is what weather people do. We cover weather. Tornado warning has now been canceled here in Alabama. We no longer have any tornado warnings. We'll still be live for a little bit longer in case something pops up. Hey, John, do you know anything about this? Like, can you fix this? I don't know what this means. Thank you, Noah, for picking up merch on shopmaxvelocity.net. Wouldn't you like to know Weather Boy? All right, guys, let's not put up that meme on here. Austell? Where is Austell? In Austell, Georgia, there is apparently some this is on the virtual rail fan. A little bit of roads puddling up here in Austell, Georgia. Again, flash flooding is a risk here across Alabama and Georgia tonight, and it will continue tomorrow morning, so just make sure if you're on the roadways, turn around, don't drown. We've already seen cars stranded tonight. Really not a good idea for you to be driving out there and potentially get stranded. You want to head? I mean, John, you can come. I don't care. See if you want to fix this AC issue. I don't know if you work tomorrow, but if you want, you can come over. Shout out to Steve with the $60 donation. W's in the chat for Steve. Thank you also Brian, the Venmo, and Jordan. Guys, I'm not Googling anything. I'm literally just gonna have somebody come over and fix this. Because I'm not capable, apparently, of doing this. Thank you, Steve, with the donation saying you have a bright future, man. I appreciate that. And also thank you, Countryman, for the donation. And Michael, Mark, Melanie, a lot of you guys. Appreciate it. Well, while we have no tornado warnings or anything like that, I just want to remind you guys today's stream and the streams all weekend have been brought to you by shopmaxvelocity.net. As a reminder, this is a limited release drop that we have, which is our 1 million subscriber merch. It's only out until the end of March. Our signed hats are limited. We have 500 available. We've already sold over half of them, and they're going to sell it pretty quickly. We only have I think about 100 left or so. So if you want to get your hands on one, this is one of the best ways to support our channel and what we do here. If you want to check this out, it's shopmaxvelocity.net or the top link in the description below. We also have t-shirts, hats, stickers, mugs, all that sort of good stuff available. Definitely recommend you check it out. It's one of the best ways that you can support what we do here on our channel, and also being able to allow us to also bring you the coverage with all the different storm chasers that we have. So if you want to check it out, shopmaxvelocity.net. You're also supporting our designer. You're supporting a small business here that is making the hats, or most of the hats that are being signed. And so it does go a long way. I appreciate everybody supporting our store. And for those that are wondering, we will have a Supercell release and a cheese curd release on the store coming out soon. The plan is for our cheese curd merch. It's my cat, cheese curd. We are gonna donate most of the profits there to either to damaged pet shelters. That's one of our ideas, or we'll donate to the Humane Society that I got her from. So we're either planning to do donations to basically a pet shelter or a Humane Society that was damaged or destroyed by a tornado, or end up doing that towards something like by the Humane Society I got her from. So something to look forward to in the future whenever we have that come out. It'll probably be about a month or two until that happens, though. Hey, Justin, for the Venmo, and also Blake for the generous Venmo. My last super chat for tonight before end, Max. The circuit breaker box controls distribution of power throughout your house when it comes from inside. Well, that's good to know. Appreciate the knowledge. Thank you, Alex. Also, was watching you on and off all day. Keep up what you're doing. I appreciate that. Has it calmed down? It's calming down. I mean, we've only got a little bit of damaging wind threat left here. The tornado risk is still existent, but it's lower. We still have a little rotation southwest of Columbus. Generally speaking, it's not that concerning. Still a little bit of rotation, too, north of Clayton in Alabama. That might be something to watch for. And the risk is overall lower. We do actually have northwest of Atlanta. There is a small area of rotation. It's not much, but a little bit of rotation just west of Arkworth and Kennesaw, moving towards Cartersville. I don't know what just happened to the radar. What in the world just happened? The radar just, like, completely bugged out. Let me refresh it. There was a little bit of rotation, though, there, just northwest of Atlanta. So a little circulation. I don't know if it's really going to be enough to get a tornado warning, but just something to watch for as that moves northeast. Very, very minimal. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerning is it? Maybe like a 2. It's not that concerning. Thank you, Texas Roast. Did I try unplugging and plugging it back in? Where do I even plug and unplug the AC? I don't even know how that works. Shout out to Aaron, Burl, Blake with the Venmo donations. Thanks for getting me through the storm. I'm glad I could help. Shout out to Brandon, Clay, Gregory, April, Weathernut, Braden, and Noah for all picking up merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Thanks for the great coverage in East Tennessee. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, we do this live coverage stuff all the time. Usually it's obviously more serious than this. It's just kind of like the end of the stream. Not really much happening right now. We're still live in case something happens, and I also need my AC to get fixed, so we'll be live until that happens, probably. So as of right now, we don't have AC. We're cooked right now. Shout out to Chris with a very generous $50 super chat. You're an amazing and awesome weatherman. Been watching you for 3 years now and hope you are very successful in your meteorology career. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dustin, also for the very generous $100 super chat. Give a shout out to Bash and wish him a good luck in his baseball tournament tomorrow. Good luck, Bash. Hope you have a great baseball tournament. Sounds like fun. Hopefully the weather's nice as well. Thank you, CJ, also for picking up merch on shopmaxvelocity.net. And he asks, are you in school to become a meteorologist? I am currently at the end of my senior year for becoming a meteorologist. Very close to having my bachelor's in meteorology. So I'm basically doing this full-time, doing weather coverage and stuff like that, weather videos, all that good stuff. And then also in college full-time at the same time. So, but in about 40 days, it'll hopefully not be like that because it's very time-consuming. Being in college, and it's also very stressful being in college and doing this at the same exact time. Thank you, Cindy, for the super chat. Go on to Angie and get an AC dude out there ASAP. What is Angie? Buzz Lightyear broke his AC. All right, guys. I'm not Buzz Lightyear. I do not look anything like Buzz Lightyear. I was on a podcast Thursday night, the Stormfront Freaks podcast, and one of the questions I got asked was about Buzz Lightyear. I'm like, dude, I don't look like Buzz Lightyear. There's no resemblance. Hey, Jordan, for becoming a member. Thank you, Dylan, for the super chat. Any predictions for Worth County, Georgia? Really getting specific here. Worth County, Georgia. I don't have any predictions here. At this point, we still have a chance again for a isolated strong tornado or two through about 3 a.m. or so, mainly down in here. It should be mostly a wind threat as that gets closer to Tifton. The risk is going to generally get lower. And they have just issued a severe thunderstorm warning down here near Ozark for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Thank you, Rebecca, for the $20 Venmo, and Sam. Appreciate that, guys. Shout out to R also for picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. I've listened to you since May 2024, and I appreciate your above and beyond work in reporting weather, honest weather. Thanks for all you do. I'm glad I can help you and appreciate you tuning in. I don't see that, but it made me laugh. I don't know how anybody sees that. I don't look anything like Buzz Lightyear. Maybe we can have a graduation party. Graduation party would go crazy, but that would be chaotic. We are now approaching 14 and a half hours. 14 and a half hours in today's live stream. I need to see what the record was. I'm actually curious because we could make this our longest live stream ever if you guys really want. I've really got to figure out what day that happened. I don't know if I want to make this my longest stream of all time, but our longest stream of all time was 11:47. Let me calculate this real quick. 11.75 plus 3.35-ish. All right, we need another 30. How many more minutes do we need? We need about 35 more minutes to have our longest stream of all time consecutively. That would be 15 hours and 10 minutes or so that we'd have to go consecutively. 15 hours and 6 minutes is the longest stream that we ever had, just for the record. 15 hours and 6 minutes. So it's possible. We only need 30 more minutes. 36 more minutes. We're currently consecutively at 14 hours and 31 minutes. I might be crazy, but not that crazy. And honestly, well, it's not a bad idea because we actually just got a new SPC outlook for tomorrow. And the Storm Prediction Center actually has a huge 5% tornado risk in place. So this is tomorrow's severe weather outlook across the East Coast. Just came out for tomorrow. For tomorrow, it's a large slight risk from the Ohio Valley back into Florida, with damaging winds and a little bit of hail being possible. There is also a chance for a few tornadoes. That is across, again, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Lake Erie, all the way back into northern Florida. So definitely have ways to receive alerts tomorrow. I'm going to read the wording here just to see what they're talking about here. I'm kind of surprised we have a tornado risk that large. So, sporadic damaging wind, swaths, and a few tornadoes will be possible this morning through dusk across a broad portion of the east. So there's a potential for a few brief tornadoes. Yeah, we might have to end up going live a little bit tomorrow, but we'll see. I honestly don't want to go live tomorrow. I have so many things I have to do. All right, I'll be back in 1 second. Oh, you can look. I know. What? I have somebody here to fix the AC. We're gonna figure it out. Maybe we'll figure out the AC before the stream ends. Thank you, Inclusive, for the $50 super chat. Yeah, that event was crazy. I remember that. That was a crazy derecho. Shout out to Thomas, Mark, and Rebecca for the Venmo donations, and Sam. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that. Am I going to continue doing live streams after I graduate? That's the plan. What have I eaten today? Peanuts. Tea. Tea is not food, but I've had tea. I don't even know what else I've had. Cookies. Yeah, I had 2 cookies. I had breakfast this morning, like a local diner. That's it. It's been a pretty low end day. I've literally had no time to eat though. We've been live for like 16 hours. It's hard to eat when you're live. Thank you, John, for the $5 super chat. I'm here to fix the AC. He's literally fixing the AC as we speak. I'm just letting you know. Maybe. I don't know if he's actually going to fix it, but... yeah, okay. Sounds like he can't, so we're just chalked. Alright. Good to know. Any predictions for Ackworth? At this point, really anywhere around Atlanta. It's, again, mostly wind. There's still a low chance for a tornado west or north of Atlanta over the next hour or two. I have a little cell out here near Dallas that's becoming a little bit more organized. It's going to be going towards Kennesaw and Woodstock. But I'm not overly concerned, really, right now about an imminent tornado risk. Just something to keep a close eye on. Do people ask for your autograph at school? No, I've never had that happen. But we do have signed hats at shopmaxvelocity.net. Hashtag ad. Top link in the description below. Prediction for South Carolina. You guys, I'm going to be honest, like, I'm surprised that we have a 5% tornado risk in such a large area tomorrow. Like, I don't see it. Let me see if that change. Let me see if the latest model data changes my mind. It really doesn't. So what we're looking at here is the significant tornado parameter values, and there's not much here. Like, we have maybe an area back up near Maryland and Pennsylvania during the late morning, early afternoon that could see an isolated tornado or two. But I don't see much. The 00Z model run has a little bit better of a grasp of a few tornadoes. But it's mostly during the morning. I mean, this is morning, like late morning, early afternoon type stuff. I don't know. I honestly am surprised though. Like I think a large 2% tornado risk is realistic. The fact that we have a large 5% tornado risk tomorrow is kind of surprising to me. Maybe I'm wrong though. I don't know. I've been right the last 2 days it seems like, but tomorrow or technically now today, I don't know about this one. There are about 44 million people in the risk of tornadoes though, or the risk of severe weather. Lake Life, not that I'm aware of. Thank you, Nicole, for the $10 Venmo. Appreciate that. Do I cover hurricane season? We do. Yes, we do cover hurricanes. We covered Hurricane Milton this past year, and we've covered plenty of hurricanes. Hurricane coverage is always very crazy. Max, are we invited to your graduation party? No, I cannot invite 35,000 of you. That's impossible. Can I go to sleep in Tallahassee? Yeah, if you go to sleep in Tallahassee, just have ways to receive alerts, and then you'll be all right. Just make sure you have ways to receive alerts. Best thing to do. Best thing to do for tonight. When was the last tornado warning? Probably about 20 minutes ago or so. It's the most recent tornado warning that we've had. Hey, no problem, Daniel. I'm glad you stayed safe up there in Tennessee. Also, shout out to Jason for picking up 1 million subscriber merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Somebody suggesting that we rent out a stadium for my graduation party. 35,000 of you. We need all you guys to fly in somewhere. Where are we doing? Where would we do that? Where we do that back over in, like, I don't know, Alaska? You got a stadium up in Alaska? What's the highest tornado warnings today compared to yesterday's 23? I think we peaked at 11 or 12. It was between 10 and 12. I think it might have been 10. But it could have been 12. I don't know. I don't remember. There was a lot of stuff happening when we had the peak of tornado warnings, but if I had to guess, it was more than likely around 10. I know we definitely hit 10, though. 10 is like the number I know we hit. Where's this heading? It's all moving into Georgia right now. And mainly a wind risk. There is still a chance for an isolated tornado. We actually have a little bit of rotation west of Dallas near Yorkville. It's still going. I'm not super concerned about that storm. It's just something we need to keep an eye on. Because it does do something. The environment in general is much less favorable for tornadoes at this point. So the greatest threat will be in western and southwestern Georgia and southeastern parts of Alabama. And this storm right here south of Clayton definitely looks like it might try to do something here soon. Has a little hook, a little inflow. Might be a storm to watch for. Madison says you sound like Buzz Lightyear. I think the similarity is there. I do not sound like Buzz Lightyear. Shout out to Joey as well. Appreciate you picking up merch. Mercedes-Benz Stadium? That has to be rented out like year-round. What should the city of Jacksonville, Florida expect? It's mostly going to be some, like, isolated damaging winds, maybe an isolated brief tornado somewhere there in northeast Florida, but it's a relatively low risk. That'll be mainly tomorrow morning. Thank you, Ulyss, for the super chat. And as well as Jacob and the Bisque. How many tornadoes have there been in the past 2 days? I would say easily 50. We've easily had 50 tornadoes, but it won't even rule out that we're up near 100. Hey, Holly, for the super chat as well. I'm not really doing specific locations because just I can't do everybody's location, but generally speaking, like the most significant threat
A new tornado
for severe
warning has
weather
been issued.
is again in southeastern Alabama and southwestern Georgia. If you're back over here in like southern or southeastern Georgia, the risk of severe weather, including damaging winds and tornadoes, is a little bit lower as we go into the overnight hours. And then back up near Atlanta, we're still talking about mainly wind with a low tornado risk. We do have a brand new tornado warning. I'm not surprised by this. We've been talking about this storm here for a few minutes back over north of Donathan and also near Blue Springs, going towards Eufaula and Highway 431. And rotation is the strongest right now just north of Blue Springs, moving to the northeast. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, lowest floor possible, and get into an interior room of your home or building. No problem, Chemical. Glad I could help out. For those that are wondering, by the way, we will not have a video tomorrow unless we do it in the late afternoon. So, just letting you guys know. We'll have one on Monday. There's just no chance I have a video tomorrow. We might go live again tomorrow. It's a low chance, but we might go live. I'd give it like a 30-40% chance. How long we've been live today, though, I would say it's a low chance that we're live tomorrow for that severe weather on the East Coast. Inclusive, we'll see. I don't know about that. I don't know if they're even streaming it. Shout out to Laura with the $25 Venmo and Jesse. Appreciate the generosity. Wish I knew about your channel sooner. We had a nearby EF2 recently. That is scary. Yeah, I know, like, we have like 35,000 people watching right now, but like, I know the YouTube space with weather is still growing. It's rapidly growing. And a lot of people still have never even heard of me or anybody in terms of the weather space on YouTube until like recently. So, pretty fascinating. But I've been doing this type of weather coverage for about 3 years now, just on YouTube. But I've been doing weather stuff for well over that. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that. Latest radar scan still showing a little bit of rotation. It's not really that strong, but again, this could become something that's on the stronger side of things as that goes towards Eufaula. This is the main region where there is an area to watch for a strong tornado. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. I was looking for Connecticut. I don't know, is Connecticut even in the risk tomorrow? Heck, it's not even in the risk. Nothing happening up in Connecticut. I had to double check. Told you about the breaker box. It's not the breaker. Apparently I'm cooked. That's what I'm hearing from my AC guy. My AC guy is saying that we're cooked. I don't know. He's technically my computer guy, but now he's the AC guy. Apparently RC is cooked. That's good. What's the problem, do you know? So what we're hearing is that it's not responding to the thermostat. So we're cooked. The temperature has also gone up another degree as the AC guy was standing there. Awesome. We're cooked. Well, that's painful. I'm going to be sleeping in a very warm environment tonight. Start an AC fund. Oh, this is terrible. Thank you, Robert, for becoming a member. We're probably going to see a tornado with this storm at some point down the road. Again, it's organizing pretty quickly, going towards Eufaula in southeast Alabama. Shelter again if you're in this warning. Shout out to Rosa and Alicia for the donation, the Venmo donations. Appreciate it. You got some fans? Yeah, but I mean, the fans are only going to do so much. No cold air coming in, it's going to suck. Oh, man. It is so warm in this apartment. Thank you, Apple, for the super chat. Apparently, we're figuring out debugging. Can't wait. I got another fan on, don't worry. We got 2 fans going. Batteries in the thermostat? I don't know how you operate that. It's not a battery, apparently. The SBC has issued a particularly disappointing situation for Max's AC unit. That's actually funny. Not to make light of the situation today, but that's a good one. It's very disappointing, guys. I mean, I'm gonna be burning tonight. We're gonna be at like 85 degrees probably by the time I wake up. Is there going to be anything in South Carolina? That's not until tomorrow, and technically today now, but it's not going to be until like the late morning, early afternoon for most areas in South Carolina. Just zooming out a little bit so you guys know where we're at. Again, southeast Alabama near Eufaula, near Clayton. We do have, again, an active tornado warning. After the storm merger happens, this thing could definitely go pretty significant as it moves towards Eufaula. So if you're in Eufaula, Alabama, make sure that you're in your safe place. Hey, Wisdom for becoming a member, as well as Lisa. Okay. We'll have another radar scan here in a moment. Just waiting for that. Supercell's been quickly organizing here at southeast Alabama. Yeah, I think we're about 5, maybe 10 minutes away, maybe even sooner, from seeing a potentially significant tornado with the storm. It's a discrete supercell, very favorable environment. The SVC has just mentioned that a downstream tornado watch may be needed in central southern Alabama back into the Florida Panhandle. So just heads up, if you're out in front of this line of storms, a tornado watch may be issued here soon, if the severe weather risk does continue as it is right now. Sean with the super chat says, sorry, chat, he's cooked. Place your bets on how hot the room will get starting now. Winner gets free max velocity merch. Oh man, I'm not doing a giveaway for that. I'm gonna be suffering. Somebody said 95. Guys, if it gets to 95, I am sleeping outside. Like, nowhere near this room. How long I've been streaming for altogether? We're at 14 hours and 50 minutes consecutively. And again, we'll go up to 15 hours, a little over 15 hours, just so this is the longest stream I've ever had, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired. We got probably about 20-30 minutes left. Again, as long as this storm stays significant, we'll stay live. There's a lot of you guys still watching and tuning into this coverage. Apparently in Bellerica, Georgia, there's a lot... What? Villarica? Okay, Villarica, there's apparently a lot of trees down. "24-hour weather stream." Guys, if I went for 24 hours, I would need a lot more. I honestly, we could do a 24-hour stream, but I'm not. Because otherwise my sleep schedule is going to be messed up, and I've barely stood in the last 15 hours, so probably not a great idea. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Laura and Rich, for picking up merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. And Rosa with a Venmo donation. Turn off the breaker for 1 minute. It's a hard reboot, apparently. I don't know what that means. Make sure whatever you do, it doesn't turn off my internet or my power. If it does, we might want to wait. I don't know what the breaker does. I'm learning more and more about this breaker today. It's all new information in this live stream. We just see Max's stream cut? Yeah, no. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Turning off the breaker turns all power off. Well, it's a good thing we didn't turn it off. I don't know what... I still don't know what a breaker is. It's very confusing. By the way, I did find my breaker box, just for those that are wondering. It has been discovered. Brand new information. I've never recognized it before. Thank you, Courtney, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Stay safe up there in Ohio this severe weather season. It's gonna be active, I think, in Ohio as we go into April. The storm is beginning to struggle a little bit more. Had a little opportunity there to produce a tornado. The storm merger was not great, though, it looks like, for the storm. But still keeping a close eye on it as it moves northeast, just in case we see a tornado come out of it. Again, this is really like the only storm that I see right now that has a concern for a tornado here in the near future. Otherwise, not much, really seeing much. Back up in Dallas, Georgia, we are seeing some reports of trees downed in the area. There was strong rotation in this area back when these reports happened. So Dallas, Georgia, seeing some damage reports there of trees down. Once again, that is from the severe weather that we saw not too long ago. Damaging winds and a tornado warning was in effect for that area as well. We need the final countdown. 5 hours until 15 hours, and then we need about like 10 more minutes after that to hit our longest stream of all time. Getting close. Which is insane. I did not think we'd have our longest stream today. Thank you, Anna, for the super chat. My 14-year-old daughter just laughed at you not knowing what a breaker is. There's no way. Come on. That's cap. Thank you, Rusty, for the super chat. Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of rest. Trust me, I'll be resting a lot probably tomorrow. Thank you, Owen, for the super chat as well. Bro, just give me a ChatGPT answer for what a breaker is. I don't feel like reading ChatGPT definitions here. Everyone knows what a breaker is? No, not everybody knows what a breaker is. I don't. All right, I'm just learning about this new discovery tonight. I did not know what a breaker was. Like, I don't know. Why are you laughing? Like, I didn't know until tonight. Like, max brain velocity. Millennial, thanks. 98% of people do. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna ask. I'm actually gonna ask ChatGPT. How many people know what a breaker is? How many people know what a breaker is at the age of 22? All right, let's see. I'm asking ChatGPT, don't worry. Ha! I'm not wrong. I'm not in the wrong here. ChatGPT is telling me that a rough estimate is 50 to 70% of people at least have a basic idea of what a circuit breaker is and what it does. Look at that. I'm not in the wrong, guys. So at least 50% of you guys don't know. Guys, stop saying you do. Come on. I'm actually, let me put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat and get an idea here. Hey, Bill, for becoming a member. All right, I'm putting a poll. We're gonna get a general poll here in the chat. Once again, we do have a tornado warning in Eufaula, southeastern parts, again, of Alabama. Rotation is still there, but nothing confirmed as of right now. It'll eventually go towards Lumpkin, Richland, in Georgia. There's no way 94% of you in this chat know what a breaker is. That's cap. That's not true. You guys are all lying. You see this? 94%. It says 94%. It's hot in here? Yeah, you didn't realize it was hot in this room? Yeah, we got 2 computers running. Yeah, we dropped down to 93%. Alright, we're doing a little bit better. The 6% is trying to make you feel better? Gosh. You're 22, I'm old? Bro, I feel old. I'm 40, but I knew at 11. Alright. %7 feel bad for you, thanks. Shout out to Kat for picking up merch at shopmaxvelocity.net. Appreciate that. Alright. We are now 40 seconds away from 15 hours of consecutive severe weather coverage. About to hit a record for our longest consecutive live stream for severe weather coverage. Confetti cannon? No way. No, not after last time. We shot confetti cannons off when I hit 1 million subscribers. You could only imagine. I'm still finding confetti to this day in random places that I had no clue it was in. It's literally a disaster in an interior room. Shout out to Julian for the super chat. $5 for how to read a Breaker for Dummies book fun for you, dude. Thank you, Max, for the super chat. Just, you drag your fridge over and stick at the computer in it. I don't think that's, like, good for anything. Thank you, Abe. I appreciate that. And Sizzle. My son is at the intersection of 4 and 65, Cotton, Alabama. Is this thing gonna get there? I don't know about the intersection, but I'll look at Cotton, and Georgia. Or is that Alabama? Cotton, Alabama. The area of rotation isn't really going up there. Again, it's kind of tracking that direction actually, but this is kind of like the general path. I mean, it's a large area that this particular storm could go towards. Definitely stay weather aware there, but there's already some convection going through that area, so it might be hard for this storm down here to the south to really, produce a tornado. But it's a low chance. In my opinion, this storm had a better chance of producing a tornado like 20 minutes ago. There is still some rotation, but again, it's not as strong as before. Thank you, bro, up for the super chat. I'm not doing that. Thank you, Widow and Owen. How much RAM is on my PC? 64 gigabytes on this PC, and the other one has 64 too. And some people, yes, some people do know about my channel. Confetti might be in the AC unit. Want me to look? This is my donation for the Help Max Learn What a Circuit Breaker is fund. Thanks. use the other radar. Yeah, the rotation actually from the other radar site is definitely stronger. It's when you look at the surface based, this is much closer to the surface on the velocities. It's not as strong, but definitely still capable of producing a strong tornado if this thing is able to organize itself. It's not very organized though right now near Euphalia. And it'll be crossing into Georgia here in just a few minutes. Hey, Brad, appreciate you picking up merch. Thank you, Jaden. Appreciate that. All right, we should get a new radar scan in just a moment, and we'll see what the storm looks like. We'll give it a couple more scans, and after that, I think I'm going to wind down, because like I'm tired, and in case we actually have, for some reason, have to go live tomorrow, I do want to get some sleep, so just in case. I sleep in Ohio. You're good in Ohio. Yeah, at this point, like, you're good if you're not in any sort of watch, or like back to the north or west of this line. You're pretty much done with severe weather. It's mostly just rain at this point. If you're back over here, you still got a threat of severe weather into the overnight hours. Just make sure you have ways to receive alerts, have a tornado action plan ready to go, and you'll be fine. Just make sure that you have that stuff all prepared and ready to go for tonight. You look so tired. I'm actually not as tired as you think, but like once I get into bed and I get some good sleep, I am going to enjoy it. There's still rotation on the storm. Again, near Eufaula. Approaching Highway 431. If you're back over near Richland, Georgia, just make sure that you're staying weather aware. This storm is going to be heading in your direction here very, very, very soon. Hey, Pretzel for the super chat. Cells southwest of Macon, Georgia, or Macon, Georgia. Mostly just wind for right now. A lot of the convection that we're seeing here is pretty messy. I don't really think this is going to be anything that tornadic, but I think in general, like the further north you go, the much lower the tornado risk is. I still think the best chance for tornadoes will be in this region over the next few hours. So it's really getting more confined now to the southwestern Georgia and southeastern Alabama areas. We've now just hit 15 hours and 2 minutes into the live stream, I believe. 15 hours and 3 minutes. So we need about 3 more minutes for the longest stream that we've ever had, and then I am going to bed. Unfortunately, I'd say live longer, but I'm tired and I need to go to bed in case we actually do go live tomorrow, which again is a low chance. Let's break a record, and we're gonna break the record. Longest consecutive live stream on our channel. A little over 15 hours today. Basically, when I woke up all the way till now, we've been live. Thank you, Jeremy, for the super chat. As a reminder, by the way, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Again, we do live coverage like this all the time. It's obviously not like this usually, where we're just talking about random stuff sometimes, but it's late at night. I'm tired, and there's not really anything too major happening right now. We're still watching the storm, but the rotation's been hit or miss. Additionally, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. links to all of our social media pages are in the description below. Make sure to go follow us on those platforms. We'll be posting a bunch of rapid fire updates on there tomorrow if there are tornado warnings that are significant, and we'll also be posting updates on the reports and tornado damage from these tornadoes over the last 48 hours. And also join our Discord server, join our weather community. If you have Discord, you can join our Discord server with one of the links in the description down below. And yeah, we are currently we're about 1.5 minutes away from the longest stream on our channel consecutively. But good, some reminders for tonight, since I will not be live, obviously, all the way to the overnight hours. But just some general reminders. Make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Have a tornado action plan ready to go. There's still a decent chance that this will drop a tornado going towards the southeast side of Pittsview, west of Lumpkin. So just make sure that you're staying weather aware in those areas. Damaging winds is going to continue to be a threat. There will be a few more isolated tornadoes overnight into tomorrow morning. And so just make sure that you're prepared for the severe weather tonight. And then as we go into tomorrow, our risk of severe weather, or technically today now, our risk of severe weather is mainly along the East Coast, with a large slight risk for severe weather from the Ohio Valley into Florida, with damaging winds and a few tornadoes being possible. Damaging winds being the main concern. So just have ways to receive alerts for tomorrow as well. Again, low chance that we're live tomorrow. I'm not sure if we will be, but if we are for some reason live tomorrow, again, just make sure to click the bell icon so you're notified if we do end up going live. All right. So again, low chance. It's not zero, but it's a low chance. But all right, we've just officially hit our longest live stream of all time, over 15 hours and 6 minutes, and that's gonna do it. I'm tired, and we're gonna get some sleep. Again, make sure to stay safe out there tonight. Have ways to receive alerts. Subscribe to our channel if you're new here. Thank you to anybody that super chatted, Venmo'd. Thank you, Mary, for Venmoing as well. PayPal donations, just subscribing to the channel, watching today's stream, liking, sharing, anything like that. It really helps us being able to provide you the best weather coverage and also being able to get the word out there to so many of you. I mean, we had over 2 million people watch our live streams today collectively, which is insane. So also, both live streams, both yesterday and today, were our most viewed severe weather live streams of all time. And so it wouldn't be possible without you guys. I appreciate you guys trusting me for severe weather coverage and giving you the latest information on all the crazy stuff that we've had happening the last few days. And again, low chance we're live tomorrow. I honestly don't think I'm going to, because I'm just tired and I need to do a lot of stuff tomorrow anyway. So unless something's really urgent, we will probably skip out on being live tomorrow, but we'll see. As a reminder, today's stream has been brought to you by shopmaxvelocity.net. Don't forget, if you want to get a signed hat from me, these are still available at shopmaxvelocity.net. It's the top link in the description below. You can also look it up on your browser, shopmaxvelocity.net. By purchasing any merch on our store, you're helping by supporting small business, in addition to supporting our designer that makes all of these amazing designs, and supporting what we do here at this channel as well. We have t-shirts, hats, stickers, posters, and much more. So all very different and affordable options. We are running out of signed hats, though, very quickly. A lot of you guys have been picking them up, so if you want to get one, make sure to get it now. Again, shopmaxvelocity.net. The link will also be in the chat. It'll be pinned in the chat, and it's the top link in the description. All right. Other than that, guys, appreciate you guys all watching. Thank you guys all for your support, and staying tuned. And again, stay safe tonight. We'll be back before you know it. We'll be back on Monday with a video. We might be, again, low chance we're live tomorrow with the live stream. All right. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay safe tonight. Have multiple ways to receive alerts, and we'll see you guys all again in the next stream. And also, thank you to Abby for the super chat on the way out. I appreciate that. When your AC quits, it's usually the capacitator. I don't even know what that means, but capacitor. All right. Oh, man. Breakers are just not going to be my friend. All right. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you guys all again in the next one. And stay safe tonight. And bye-bye.